Hey coin collectors. We are back with another episode featuring numismatic pinnacles of modern US coinage. Today we are going to talk about 8 rare Lincoln cents that hold significant monetary value. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 8. This is 1992 D Lincoln cent with close AM on reverse. Graded in mint state 62 red and brown by PCGS. According to Jamie Hernandez from PCGS, despite billions of cents being produced for this year alone, only about a dozen examples or so are known to exist for the 1992 D close AM variety. To determine if a 1992 cent is of the very scarce and valuable variety, the letters M of America will be very close to each other and almost touching. Also, the initials FG on the reverse are further apart from the memorial building. A regular 1992 business strike should be the opposite, as the letters AM of America will be spaced further apart from each other. This specimen ended up selling for $1,434.39 with buyer's fee on October 15, 2023. Number 7. This is 1938 proof Lincoln cent in red PR 67 plus condition. According to David Lawrence website, a conditional rarity from a mintage of just 14,734 coins, tied for the finest non-cam example. PCGS reports just 13 specimens in this lofty grade. Virtually flawless and of course fully struck, with dazzling gold and orange mirrors. It was sold for $3,375. Number 6. Here is 1943 zinc-coated steel cent in MS 68 plus condition. According to NGC, vast numbers were saved in mint state for their novelty, but their highly reactive composition has made preserving their beauty a real challenge. With exposure to moisture, the underlying steel often rusted, even with the zinc plating. Gems are plentiful through MS 67, and encapsulation is perhaps the safest means of maintaining their original appearance. On the open market, 1943 pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $3,200. However, this superb gem fetched a sum of $4,350.38 with buyer's fee at auction. Number 5. Another wartime penny. 1941 S Lincoln cent in MS 68 red condition. According to NGC, due to the usual hoarding of rolls at the time of issue, 1941 S cents are plentiful in all grades through fully red gem. Many, however, were coined from very worn dies showing obvious signs of erosion. Collectors should seek those fully struck from fresh dies. The S mint mark punch is used since 1917 was showing signs of filling, and the Philadelphia Mint's engraving department furnished a new one of large size and completely different style. This debuted on a minority of the 1941 S cents through quarter dollars, half dollars transition the following year. 1941 S cents having the large S are not truly rare, but they are scarce in top grades and bring a premium. This one ended up selling for $11,812.50 with buyer's fee on October 15, 2023. Number 4. Here is 1954 S Lincoln cent in MS 68 red condition. Quality control for this issue was poor, even by San Francisco mint standards of the 1950s. Worn and over-polished dies left many of these coins quite blurry and their details incomplete. Only widespread roll hoarding of this date has provided enough gems to satisfy the demand from collectors. MS 68 specimen are truly scarce though. This specimen ended up selling for $14,072.62 with buyer's fee. Number 3. This is exquisite full red 1909 S Lincoln cent with repunched mint mark S over horizontal S. According to Stax Bowers, satiny in texture with a razor-sharp strike from the dies, both sides also exhibit beautiful color in a pale rose-orange shade. Silky smooth surface are fully deserving of the impressive MS 67 RD grade from PCGS. One of the most popular varieties in this widely collected small cent series, the 1909 SFS 1502 is a repunched mint mark variety on which the first S was entered into the die at 90 degrees from normal with the second S entered properly. This elusive penny ended up selling for $16,800. Number 2. This is 1983 D Lincoln cent struck on a bronze planchet in error. This planchet error is similar in nature to the 1943 copper cents and occurred in precisely the same manner. The 1983 D copper planchet cents are destined to remain quite rare, as the change from the old tenor copper, also known as bronze or brass, Planchets to the new 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper planchets occurred in October of 1982 at the Denver Mint, at least 2 months before 1,983 cents were struck. Quality control was also very high at the Denver Mint in this time period, undoubtedly leaving few such errors to be discovered. This error cent ended up selling for $17,625. Number 1. And this is 1926's Lincoln cent in MS64 plus red condition. This San Francisco cent offers exceptional quality and eye appeal for an issue that is rarely seen with full red color. Both sides of this vivid beauty exhibit dominant pinkish rose color, the peripheries adorned with warmer reddish orange. It is sharply struck and has a satiny and smooth appearance that is suggestive of an even higher grade. The 1926S has a low mintage by the standards of this series, with just 4,550,000 pieces produced. It has long been regarded a semi to full key date issue in all grades, and the vast majority of collectors have settled for a worn example due to either availability or cost. Very scarce in all mint state grades. It was sold for $43,200. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and may the rarest coins be in your collection. Don't forget to smash thumbs up. Stay well. Welcome to our channel, Coin Enthusiasts. Today, we've got something truly special in store for you. If you've ever wondered about the hidden treasures lurking in the world of numismatics, you're in for a treat. In this video, we're about to unveil a collection of 8 rare coins that could potentially lead to a massive payday. So hit that subscribe button below and let's get started. Number 8. This is 1943 P. Jefferson nickel with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 67 by PCGS. According to Ron Guth, the 1943 P double die obverse nickel is one of the most popular varieties of the Jefferson series. Though it is scarce as a variety, high-grade examples seem to be the norm. This variety is not an arm's length one, so it remains possible to cherry-pick one by examining all 1943 P nickels. The doubling is most evident on the date and liberty. Jefferson's eye shows clear doubling in the form of extra lines that jut out from in front of the eye. This specimen was sold for $1,057.50. Number 7. Here is 1964 D. Kennedy half dollar with quadruple die obverse. Graded as MS66 by PCGS. According to PCGS website, the 1964 D quadruple die obverse half dollar is one of the more important varieties in the Kennedy half dollar series. The quadrupling is most obvious on the U of trust and on the right side of the 4 in the date. This variety is known as FS105 according to the Cherry Picker's Guide. This elusive specimen was sold for $2,035 with buyer's fee. Number 6. This is 2009 D. Lincoln cent with presidency reverse. Graded in mint state 69 red by NGC. This modern penny is in the threshold of numismatic perfection with incredible peach-orange luster and mesmerizing eye appeal. Strike is tack sharp. It was sold for $2,040. Number 5. An error $quarter. 1939 Washington quarter struck on a nickel planchet. Graded in mint state 67 by PCGS. Aligned with the collar at 9 o'clock. The right side borders display incomplete and stretched legends. Immaculate and lustrous with light to medium olive gray toning. It was sold for $4,025. Number 4. Here is 1995 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 69 red by PCGS. This is one of the top graded 1995 double die obverse cents at both services combined. According to the Cherry Picker's Guide, this well-known variety was, at one time, featured on the front page of USA Today, heightening its appeal. Doubling is strongest on Liberty and in God, although it is visible elsewhere. Flawless with copper orange color and a full strike. It fetched a sum of $3,853.20. Number 3. This is 2008 D Presidential Dollar featuring Andrew Jackson OB obverse. Elusive position B variety in MS67 condition. The very first day of issue according to Great Collections Auction. Position A and Position B refers to the type of edge letterings on presidential dollars. On Position A, both sets of edge lettering running the same way but upside down in relation to the obverse. On Position B, both sets of edge lettering running the same way but right side up in relation to the obverse. This specimen was sold for $5,850 with buyer's fee. Number 2. This is 1998's Lincoln Cent Proof with Close AM. Graded as PR70 Red Deep Cameo by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, mint mix-up caused the business strike reverse design, with closer letters AM in America, to be used on a small minority of proof Lincoln Cents in 1998 and 1999. This is a perfect specimen of the former variety, utterly flawless in both preservation and contrast, making it an highly sought after among collectors. It was sold for $7,475. Number 1. And this is 1930D Lincoln Cent in MS67 Plus red condition. This Plus graded superb gem glitters in vibrant copper-orange luster with bold devices and remarkably clean surfaces. No carbon spotting is seen. The 1930D is rare in MS67 red. Anything graded higher is almost unheard of. This elusive example ended up selling for $33,600. Thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating numismatic content. Have a good one. Hey everyone. Welcome back to our channel. In this episode, I'm going to share 8 rare US coins that you should not spend. These coins are worth big money, so if you have any of them in your collection, be sure to hold on to them. Subscribe. Number 8. 1977's Proof Lincoln Cent. Graded as PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS. PR70 is highest achievable grade for a proof coin and indicates that it is absolutely perfect coin with immaculate preservation and striking level and outstanding eye appeal. PCGS reports overall 62 proof cents with deep cameo designation in this high-end grade. This specimen was sold for $1,440. Number 7. This is 1944 D Washington Quarter in Mint State 67. According to NGC, the 1944 D quarter dollar is among the more appealing issues in the Silver Washington series. Typical of Denver Mint coins from this period, most examples are well struck from fresh or moderately worn dies, displaying excellent luster. NGC certified 487 specimens in this grade with only 6 numerically finer. It was sold for $1,680 on October 23, 2023. Number 6. Here is 1951 Proof Franklin Half Dollar. Graded as PR65 Cameo by PCGS. The Philadelphia Mint struck a modest mintage of 57,500 Proof Franklin Half Dollars for collectors in 1951. Unfortunately, most of the coins have shallow mirrors and examples with ultra cameo contrast are elusive. Also, the mint cellophane packaging was not suitable for long-term storage and many survivors show excessive hairlines in the fields. This spectacular superb gem fetched a sum of $2,160 on October 23, 2023. Number 5. This is 1920D Buffalo Nickel in MS64 condition. According to NGC, the annual mintage of nickels at Denver during the years 1917-20 was fairly consistent, though most of the 1920D nickels would sit idle in vaults for the next several years. A nasty recession began in the latter months of 1920, eliminating the need for further coining of nickels for the Midwest region until 1924. This issue is not truly rare in mint state, but the quality of most pieces is disappointing. Poor strikes from worn and cracked dies are the norm, and this has greatly limited the number of gems certified. This MS64 specimen ended up selling for $2,880. Number 4. 1976's Jefferson Nickel struck on a cent planchet. Graded as PR68 Red Ultra Cameo by NGC. According to Heritage Auctions, this piece is remarkably sharp in the centers considering the undersized planchet, and the strike is well centered with at least portions of all peripheral legends readable. The coin is stunning in its preservation. Starkly contrast, frosty devices complement liquid-like fields amid carbon-free pumpkin orange color. It was sold for $4,080. Number 3. This is 1974's Eisenhower dollar in PR70 Deep Cameo condition. A magnificent, technically perfect example of this popular clad issue, this coin is fully struck, with richly frosted design elements that contrast profoundly with the deeply mirrored fields. Overall eye appeal is terrific. It was sold for $6,900. Number 2. This is 1975 Lincoln Cent in MS68 condition. According to PCGS, anything grading higher than MS67 condition is considered rare. Grading service reports only 4 specimens, including this cent, in MS68 condition with none finer. The surfaces are flawless, as expected, and display rich fire orange color. 2 specks of carbon are noted, 1 on each side. It was sold for $9,000. Number 1. 1976 Bicentennial Quarter in MS69 condition. Even under magnification, the exquisite preservation of this modern silver-clad piece is highly impressive. The subtlest hints of champagne patina are seen over the obverse, while the reverse is essentially untoned. Though the net mintage for the 1976 silver-clad business strike is speculative, its rarity in MS69 is undeniable. PCGS certified 6 specimens in this graded with none finer. This one was sold for $19,200. Thanks for watching this video. Keep following us on YouTube, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and like buttons before you move on with another video. Have a nice day. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to Coin Oz. If you're as passionate about coin collecting as we are, you won't want to miss this exciting episode. In 2023, CAC-approved US coins are commanding some impressive premiums, and today, we're diving deep into the world of these exquisite coins. Stay tuned to discover why they're creating a buzz in the numismatic community, and which exceptional specimens are worth adding to your collection. Let's explore the world of CAC-approved coins together. What is CAC approval? CAC approval in numismatics stands for Certified Acceptance Corporation Approval. It's a process where a third-party organization assesses and approves the quality and authenticity of a coin. In simple words, it's like getting a seal of approval to confirm that a coin is genuine and in excellent condition. Collectors and buyers often value CAC-approved coins more because they have extra assurance about the coin's quality and authenticity. It helps them make informed decisions when buying or trading coins. Number 7. Here is 1932 D Washington Quarter in MS64 condition. Scarce CAC-approved example. The 1932 D Washington Quarter is one of the 2 big key dates of the series. Its mintage of 436,800 coins is the second lowest of the series. This choice mint state example is in an accessible grade, although it is scarce with CAC endorsement. A few small marks are seen. Satiny luster and traces of light golden toning accent each side. It ended up selling for $3,240. Number 6. 1958 D Franklin half dollar in MS67 plus condition with full bell lines. According to Heritage Auctions, the 1958 D Franklin half dollar is plentiful overall, and the mint state population is well balanced between coins with full bell lines and those without. The former category is highly sought after in superb gem condition by registry collectors, and while such coins are occasionally seen, plus graded pieces are scarce. Frosty luster and pristine surfaces complement boldly rendered central devices. Vivid multicolor toning encompasses the reverse and the left obverse margin, leaving the remainder of the obverse iridescent white. It was sold for $4,200. Number 5. This is 1955 Lincoln Cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 63 brown by PCGS and proven by CAC. The 1955 double die has long been a staple of the Lincoln Cent series and an iconic 20th century mint error. An entire generation of collectors owes much of their love for numismatics to endless days as a youngster searching pocket change for this elusive and dramatic mint anomaly. Examples are usually available today, even in mint state, but accessible pieces in the brown color category seldom have good eye appeal. This piece bucks that trend. Each side displays luminous, original satin luster and a bold strike. There is a distinct lack of abrasions, and only a few flecks are noted on the reverse. It was sold for $5,160. Number 4. This is 1912 Lincoln Cent in MS65 plus red condition. The 1912 is a challenging date to acquire in full red color, and it is particularly scarce at the gem level. Finer red coins are rare. This CAC-endorsed example stands apart from the majority of its peers. Satiny blonde copper luster complements well-struck design elements and a lack of serious abrasions. A few tiny pepper specks are seen in the right obverse field. It ended up selling for $9,000. Number 3. Here is vividly toned 1940 Walking Liberty $50 in PR 68 plus condition. Mintages for proof coinage remained on the upswing in 1940, though this Walker $50 issue still claims a small production of 11,279 pieces. Unsurprisingly, those coins were saved by collectors, resulting in an average certified grade of PR 65. The CAC-approved surfaces showcase a delicate overlay of pastel blue and violet color with shades of golden orange and sea green mixed in. It was sold for $21,600. Number 2. This is 1913 D Lincoln Cent in MS66 plus red condition. CAC proven superb gem. This issue is only moderately scarce in circulated grades, and enough mint-state pieces have survived to meet the needs of most collectors. The census data reveal that this is also a relatively plentiful issue in fully red gem condition, something that rarely can be said of mint-marked cents dated 1911-15. Fully struck pieces from fresh dies are scarce. This elusive specimen ended up selling for $13,500 with buyer's fee. Number 1. And here is 1943 S Lincoln Cent in MS68 plus condition. According to Ron Guth, the 1943 S Lincoln Cent represents the San Francisco version of the zinc-coated steel cents issued by the U.S. government as a replacement for the bronze versions used up until that date. Demand for copper escalated in World War II because of its use in weapons and assorted other items necessary to prosecute the war effectively. Over 100,001,943 S steel cents were struck, making them very common today. Apparently, collectors saved many thousands of mint-state examples, as evidenced by the large number of certified examples in the MS66 and MS67 grades. In MS68, this date is scarce, but not rare, and collectors have ample opportunities to obtain an example in this grade, something that is not possible with other dates in the series. Anything higher than that grade is considered rare. This MS68 plus gem ended up selling for $46,125 with buyer's fee. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to hit subscribe and like buttons before you continue watching another video on YouTube. And feel free to leave a comment down below. Take care. Hey coin collectors. Are you ready to embark on a thrilling journey through the world of rare coins? Today, we bring you a preview of the 8 hidden treasures to look for in 2023. Hit that subscribe button below this video and let's get rolling. Number 8. This is 1924 S Lincoln Cent in red and brown condition. Graded as MS64 by NGC. According to NGC, the widely hoarded from circulation 1935-60, as were all S mint cents, this issue is very scarce and all grades higher than very fine. Mint states survive in smaller numbers than for many other issues of the 1920s, and fully red gems are exceedingly rare. This elusive example ended up selling for $1,140 on October 17, 2023. Number 7. This is 1952 S Washington quarter in MS68 condition. Silver 25-cent piece with vivid amber, olive green and russet toning. According to NGC, the 1952 S quarter dollar is very common in gem mint state, with a large certified population of MS67 coins and even a few finer. Overlooked, however, is that most of these top-notch pieces were coined from heavily worn dies that give them a soft and blurry look. This tends to reduce the impact of any contact marks, which are so easily seen on the better struck P and D quarters. Finding a well-struck 1952 S coin from fresh, fully detailed dies will be very difficult. This MS68 superb gem fetched a sum of $1,200 in an auction held on October 17, 2023. Number 6. Here is 1946 S Liberty $50 in superb mint condition. Graded as MS67 by PCGS. The end of World War II in 1945 led to greatly reduced manufacturing, layoffs and other signs of post-war recession. Mintages declined, reflecting this reduced activity, and the San Francisco Mint would not coin $50 for circulation again until 1949. Hoarding of San Francisco Mint coins was well established by 1946, so examples in mint state are quite common. Most, however, are rather poorly struck, and finding a sharp piece from fresh dies can be very challenging. Gems certified through MS66 are readily available, while MS67 examples are rare. This specimen was sold for $1,320 on October 17, 2023. Number 5. Here is 1936 Gettysburg half-dollar. Graded in mint state 67 by PCGS. Vitter's obverse design portrays conjoined busts of Union and Confederate veterans in uniform facing right. Above are the mottos Liberty and E Pluribus Unum. Arranged in arcs around the periphery are the legends United States of America and blue and gray Reunion, separated by stars. The reverse is dominated by Union and Confederate shields, separated from one another by fasces. Wrapped around these elements are branches of oak and olive, perhaps symbolizing war and peace. This MS-67 specimen was sold for $1,440. Number 4. Here is 1953 proof Washington quarter with double die obverse. Graded as PR68 Deep Cameo by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, the 1953 proof quarter is scarce in deep cameo grades. This example also represents the FS 101 double die obverse, which shows a significant spread on the date, motto, and designer's initials. The strike is full, and the untoned surfaces yield stark white on black contrast. It was sold for $11,162.50. Number 3. 1950 Roosevelt dime in PR68 deep cameo condition. This is a marvelously preserved superb gem dime that exhibits profound contrast between frosted white devices and endlessly reflective fields on each side. Fully struck on every design element, with pristine surfaces that are thoroughly untoned. It was sold for $18,800. Number 2. Here is 1952 S Franklin half-dollar in MS-67 condition with full bell lines. According to Heritage Auctions, the 1952 S Franklin half-dollar claims a mintage of 5.5 million pieces, a small production total in the context of the series. Unfortunately, the issue was not especially well produced, and coins with a decent strike and full bell lines are elusive in today's market. The present coin is a dramatic exception to the rule, with well-detailed design elements and full bell lines definition. This spectacular superb gem offers impeccably preserved lustrous surfaces under attractive shades of greenish gold and lavender toning. Eye appeal is terrific. It ended up selling for $25,850. Number 1. And this is 1909 VDB Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded as MS-67 plus red by PCGS. Cherry Pickers lists 2 double die obverse varieties for the 1909 VDB cent. FS 1101 exhibits stronger die doubling on the date in the RTY and Liberty than FS 1102. Untied and unsurpassed, this lustrous and boldly struck cent is virtually devoid of perceptible marks. Identifiers are limited to a pinpoint fleck beneath the upright of the N and 1, and another minuscule fleck on Lincoln's forehead. It was sold for $31,200. Thanks for watching this video. Your likes and comments are highly appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for daily updating coin-related content. Take care. Hello dear viewers. Today, we're diving deep into the world of numismatics, where fiery prices and extraordinary values await. 8 rare coins in particular, that make big money. Hit that subscribe button below and let's get started. Number 8. A highly elusive error penny. This is 1960 Lincoln cent with double date, small date over large date and repunched mint mark D over D graded in mint state 66 red by PCGS. A flashy and lustrous example of this popular variety. According to David Lawrence Coin Auctions, the doubling is evident as a small date over large date. This is also a very wide RPM, with the secondary D far north of the primary D, actually touching the 9 of the date. It was sold for $975. Number 7. This is 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar in mint state 66. This coin is struck nearly 65% off center. Fantastic piece that should have never left the mint. This coin is dramatically struck off center enough such that the date is still visible. It fetched a sum of $1,050. Number 6. This is 1967 Kennedy half-dollar in MS-67 condition. According to NGC, the year 1967 marked the first time since 1964 that the U.S. Mint confined its production to coins bearing their actual date of manufacture. The coin shortage was over, and enough of the new clad coins were in circulation that the Treasury Department no longer had to maintain its deception in striking coins of previous dates to prevent hoarding. This is almost certainly why the mintage of 1967 $50 is so high, as the entire year was devoted to coins of that date alone. Gems are readily available through MS65, with enough MS66 coins certified to mostly meet the demand from advanced collectors. This gem was sold for $1,325. Number 5. Here is 1971 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 66 red by PCGS. The 1971 double die is a scarce variety with a few hundred examples known since its discovery. Although it is not as popular as the 1969 S double die, 1972 double die or other double dies in the Lincoln cent series. This variety is also not as strong as other varieties in the series. Magnification is usually needed to spot the doubling. The doubling is strongest on the word liberty and in the words "In God We Trust." This MS66 red specimen fetched a sum of $2,200. Number 4. This is 1972 Jefferson nickel in mint state 67 with full steps. Gorgeous gold and pastel rainbow tones grace both sides of this premium gem. According to the NGC price guide, as of October 2023, a Jefferson nickel from 1972 in circulated condition is worth between 10 cents and 20 cents. However, on the open market 1972 nickels in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $150. MS67 gems are scarce and sell for good money. For instance, this superb gem was sold for $2,500. Number 3. Here is 1985 P. Jefferson nickel in mint state 67 with full steps. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel is fairly common in most grades. Only in MS65 full steps condition does it become scarce. In MS67 with full steps it is very tough to locate. PCGS reports just 6 FS specimens in this lofty grade with just a single finer. This one was sold for $3,450. Number 2. This is 2000 Sacagawea dollar from Cheerios cereal box. Famous Cheerios dollar that was struck from a special reverse die hub, and the coins were only dispensed in Cheerios boxes for a special promotion. Once discovered, the promo ended and the few known are very rare. Main distinguishing detail is the enhanced motifs on the tail feathers of the eagle. This specimen was sold for $6,250. Number 1. And this is 1915 S Lincoln cent in MS66 red condition. Rare gem S mint that is nearly impossible to locate with the red designation. Beautiful golden surfaces with a light reddish patina. Gorgeous with amazing eye appeal. With just single finer graded by PCGS, it is certainly one of the toughest registry quality pieces to acquire. It fetched a sum of $24,000. Thanks for watching this video. Please, don't forget to hit thumbs up before you watch another video. Stay well and God's will. See you in the next episode. Hello coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we've got something truly exciting lined up for you. In this video, we're diving into the world of numismatics to explore 4 rare and valuable Elizabeth II coins that have the potential to fetch you a handsome sum at coin auctions. Subscribe. Number 4. This is Canadian 1979 Elizabeth II 1 cent struck on a wrong planchet. Graded in mint state 60 red by Annex. Small beaded circles are not fully struck, but all alterings of obverse are present and crisp. Device elements display no wear on high points. Main distractions are these large carbon spots here and there. It was sold for $132. Number 3. Here is 1960 Elizabeth II silver dollar in mint state 66. Royal Canadian Mint. A surprising conditional and aesthetic outlier for Elizabeth's earlier Canadian issues, witnessed here in a premium gem preservation. Full in cobalt, cerulean, and autumnal hues, it has terrific eye appeal. With actual silver weight of 0.6 ounces, this superb gem ended up selling for $2,640. Number 2. This is 1971 Canadian dollar coin struck on a silver planchet. An exceedingly rare strike on a silver planchet weighing 17 grams. According to Heritage Auctions, although the specimen has been designated as a mint error by PCGS, this is perhaps unlikely, as smaller silver planchets not in use at the time is the same as the specification for the standard nickel issue. Lightly handled and reflective, with a care and preservation that places the offering at the cusp of gem status, this intriguing rarity ended up selling for $12,000. Number 1. And this is 1969 Elizabeth II 10 cents with large date and large ship. Graded as AU58 by PCGS. There are various versions of how the 1969 large date variety came to exist. Some think the coin was struck in Philadelphia as a sample to show Canadian mint officials. Some think the coin was inadvertently struck from the retooled 1968 dies that were abandoned after the retooling process. The 1969 version looked in need of a sharp facelift. In any event, the coin has become Canada's great modern rarity. This fantastic piece ended up selling for $14,400. That's all, folks. If you have rare Elizabeth II coins you think are worth money, you can showcase them on our website. Take care. Welcome back to Coin Oz. In today's video we are going to show you 8 rare Lincoln cents that fetch eye-catching values at auctions. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 8. This is 1949's Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 67 red by PCGS. At first glance it looks like an ordinary 1 cent piece in uncirculated mint condition. Because doubling is not that dramatic as in 1955 or 1969 pennies. You'll need closely inspect the obverse details with magnifying glass or by other means to spot slight doubling on the date, especially the numerals 1 and 4 in the mint mark. This MS67 gem fetched a sum of $900. Number 7. 2008 Memorial Cent. Graded in mint state 68 red by PCGS. According to Jamie Hernandez, this is the last year in which the U.S. Mint used the memorial design for the reverse of the Lincoln cent. The memorial reverse was first introduced on Lincoln cents in 1959. In 2009, the Mint for the first time ever introduced a 4 series design within the same year as a way to honor Abraham Lincoln's life. The 2008 P Lincoln cent appears to be very difficult to obtain in MS67 condition as many coins come with light spotting and scratches. In MS68 condition they are extremely difficult to find. This lustrous specimen fetched a sum of $956.25 with buyer's fee. Number 6. 1960 proof Lincoln cent with large date. Graded as PR69 deep cameo by PCGS. According to Stax Bowers, vivid, virtually pristine surfaces deliver intense medium orange mint color and a boldly cameoed finish. While the large date is the more plentiful variety of the proof 1960 Lincoln cent, examples such as this that approach numismatic perfection are remarkable condition rarities. It was sold for $2,040. Number 5. 1936 Brilliant Proof Lincoln cent. Graded as PR66 red by PCGS. Otherwise dusky pinkish orange surfaces exhibit a blush of varied color at the upper obverse border that alternates between pale golden pink and steely red as the coin rotates under a light. The strike is full, the finish universally reflective. The first proof cent produced since 1916, the 1936 is the key date issue in the modern proof Lincoln series. It was sold for $2,640. Number 4. 1998 D Lincoln cent. Graded in mint state 69 red by PCGS. MS69 means the coin is almost perfect in terms of its condition and luster. 69 is a grade on the Sheldon coin grading scale, where 70 is the highest. This superb gem was sold for $5,907.38 with buyer's fee. Number 3. This is 1961 Lincoln cent in PR69 deep cameo condition. As struck with glowing medium orange mint color to fully impressed, sharply cameoed surfaces. This dazzling ultra gem is a surprise condition rarity from a mintage of 3,028,244 pieces. It was sold for $6,600. Number 2. 1917 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded as MS63 brown by PCGS. Softly frosted surfaces are richly and originally toned in antique copper rose. The in-hand appearance is exceptionally smooth for the assigned grade, definitely explaining coveted CAC approval. Boldly to sharply struck with superior quality and eye appeal. The 1917 FS101 is one of the most pronounced double die obverse varieties in the Lincoln Cent series, with sharp doubling to the digits in the date and the letters God We Trust in the motto. Despite the dramatic doubling, this variety remained undescribed until 60 years later in 1977, by which time most coins had seen their fair share of circulation. This brown specimen ended up selling for $8,400. Number 1. Here is 1918D Lincoln Cent in MS66 plus red condition. According to NGC, despite a very high mintage, the 1918D cent is rare in top grades. These coins were poorly made, with overused dies that were seemingly set slightly further apart than ideal to extend their lives. Fully struck examples are thus very elusive, and those displaying full red color are extremely rare. Most pieces certified as MSRD have a bit subdued, slightly pinkish color. This specimen fetched a sum of $53,859.38 with buyer's fee at auction. Thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating numismatic content. Have a good one.
Hey coin collectors, welcome to another episode featuring numismatic pinnacles of modern US coinage. Today I'm going to talk about 4 valuable and rare Lincoln cents that command strong premiums at auctions. So hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 4. This is 1997 Lincoln cent with double die obverse, so-called doubled ear variety. Graded in Mint State 67 red by PCGS with FS101 designation. The 1997 doubled ear variety is characterized by a doubling of the earlobe on Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse of the coin. This doubling is visible on the lower part of Lincoln's ear, making it look like he has 2 distinct lobes. This variety is relatively subtle and might not be immediately noticeable to the naked eye. However, it has become quite popular among coin collectors due to its distinctive nature and the fact that it's relatively easy to identify once you know what to look for. This pristine red gem featuring immaculate lustrous surfaces with very minor imperfections ended up selling for $1,020. Number 3. 1982 S Lincoln cent in PR70 deep cameo condition. The literally perfect coin in numismatic terms. PR70 is highest achievable grade in Sheldon scale. A deep cameo feature also adds up to the pros of this superb gem. Stark contrast is observed between liquid-like feels and frosty golden toned reliefs. It ended up selling for $2,418.75 with buyer's fee. Number 2. 1999 red Lincoln cent, graded in Mint State 69 by PCGS. This penny is in the threshold of numismatic perfection, featuring exquisite preservation and striking level. Although MS68 graded specimens are relatively scarce, PCGS certified over 258 coins in that grade with guiding price of $135, but there is just single numerically finer this coin which fetched a sum of $16,312.50 with buyer's fee at auction. Number 1. And this is 1915 wheat penny in MS68 red condition, comes with CAC approval for its Excelsior. According to NGC, the 1915 cent is highly unusual in that its mintage is fairly close to that of its Denver Mint counterpart. In other words, its mintage is surprisingly low for a P-Mint penny. Why this was so is unknown, but it must have been influenced by the very large mintage of 1909-1914. While not a truly rare coin, it's less often across all grades than other Philly cents of the decade. Fully red gems are very scarce, and even red-brown coins are elusive. This highly elusive specimen ended up selling for $81,562.50 with buyer's fee. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of numismatics. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts, and leave us a comment with your thoughts or any rare coins you discovered. Take care.
Welcome back to COIN Oz. Today's video features 8 rare and valuable coins from Commonwealth countries featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. These coins were recently showcased at Stack's Bowers auction and fetched remarkable premiums. So, without further ado, let's delve into these rare numismatic pinnacles. Number 8. Here is vividly toned 1953 Elizabeth II farthing from Great Britain. Proof superb gem that was graded as PR66 red and brown by NGC. It is a relatively scarce and valuable coin, especially in this high grade. PR66 indicates a coin that is in excellent, 66, condition. Red and brown refers to the color of the coin. In this case, it means that the coin still retains some of its original red coloration along with some brown toning, which is common for older copper coins. This one displays attractive neon blue and pinkish hues as well. It was sold for $216 on October 20, 2023. Number 7. This is 1967 half-crown struck on a Colombian peso planchet. Graded in mint state 63 by PCGS. Despite blank size difference, all letterings are present and device elements are mostly well defined. Surfaces are void of large distractions. It was sold for $384. Number 6. Here is 1978 Elizabeth II 10 cents from Hong Kong struck on a copper planchet. Graded in mint state 64 red and brown by PCGS. According to Stack's Bowers, normally meant for a nickel brass planchet, this erroneous 10-cent piece instead gleams with copper red. A very well preserved and highly individual piece that fetched a sum of $1,440 at auction. Number 5. This is undated Elizabeth II 50 cents from Hong Kong struck on a 5 cents planchet. Graded in mint state 64 by PCGS. A curious piece struck on a much too small planchet. While the date is entirely absent due to the limited space, this would-be 50 cents piece belongs to a 4-year type. All the details that do appear are crisp and freshly struck, and abundant luster elevates the look of this intriguing error. It was sold for $1,440. Number 4. A modern masterpiece. The exquisite 2000 Elizabeth II gold 5 pounds from Great Britain. Graded in mint state 66 by PCGS. Obverse side features 4th crown portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, legend around. On the reverse St. George slaying the dragon right, date and designer's initials in exerg. Actual gold weight is 1,177 ounces. It was sold for $2,400. Number 3. This is 1978 Elizabeth II 10 cents from Hong Kong struck on aluminum planchet. An error coin graded as MS63 by PCGS. This unusual mint error shows 10-cent dies struck onto an undersized and misshapen aluminum planchet instead of the proper nickel brass planchet. The resulting coin features an obverse with curious curved rims, distorted detail, paired with a comparatively crisp reverse strike. A pleasing gray tone and rather high level of preservation make this an extremely intriguing error piece. It was sold for $2,280 on October 15, 2023. Number 2. This is 1981 Elizabeth II $2 struck on a copper planchet. Graded in mint state 64 red and brown by PCGS. According to Stack's Bowers, normally struck on a scallop copper nickel planchet, this $2 piece instead appears on a round copper planchet. Slightly off-center to boot, hints of the intended scalloped rims can be identified. This intriguing specimen is well preserved and quite charming. It was sold for $2,280. Number 1. And this is 1964 H. Elizabeth II 5 cents coin from Hong Kong. The coin was struck by Birmingham Mint. Graded in mint state 64 by PCGS. A mid-century key date to the Hong Kong series, this specimen certainly does not lack for beauty and appeal. The strike on this example is strong, with rich details and a wholesome golden bronze glow of luster. This tremendous piece fetched a sum of $9,000 at October 2023 Hong Kong auction. That wraps up today's episode. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to smash subscribe and notification buttons below to help us grow and reach more numismatic enthusiasts on YouTube. God's will, see you in the next episode. How is it going, guys? Welcome back to COIN Oz. In today's video we will closely examine 7 scarce and rare Roosevelt dimes you should look for in 2023. Hit that subscribe button below and let's get started. Number 7. This is 1959 Roosevelt dime in MS68 condition with full torch. Vividly toned specimen inside this cute NGC holder. With the exception of the upper left reverse, which is essentially brilliant, this vividly toned beauty is drenched in blended cobalt blue and pinkish apricot iridescence. Smooth and lustrous throughout, it is difficult for us to imagine a more desirable survivor from this 1950s Roosevelt dime issue. It was sold for $1,080. Number 6. This is 1949 Roosevelt dime. Graded in mid-state 68 with full torch designation by NGC. Bordering on numismatic perfection, this exquisite early-date Roosevelt dime is virtually pristine with vivid golden copper and pinkish rose iridescence adorning both sides. The central reverse remains brilliant, and all areas are free of grade-limiting blemishes. Perfectly executed and preserved with the utmost care and expertise, the present piece simply cannot be improved upon. It fetched a sum of $1,920 at auction. Number 5. Here is 1962 Roosevelt dime in MS67 condition with star and FT designation from NGC. According to NGC, dimes of the early 1960s were routinely hoarded by the BU roll and bag, but many of these were moved frequently between owners until attaining enough value as singles to merit grading and encapsulation. The result is a very common issue that may be a bit tough to locate in MS67, though there seems to be a higher than usual percentage of full torch examples for a Philadelphia dime. This elusive specimen ended up selling for $1,997.50. Number 4. Here is 1953 D Roosevelt dime in MS68 condition. According to Stax Bowers, otherwise brilliant surfaces are enhanced by a blush of vivid, multicolored iridescence over the upper third of the obverse. Luster is full and frosty throughout, both sides expectably smooth for the assigned grade and bordering on pristine. It was sold for $2,040. Number 3. This is 1948 Roosevelt dime in MS68 condition with full bands. The amazing multicolored iridescence that occupies most of the obverse and the reverse border of this sharply struck superb gem helps to create the overall aesthetic appeal that makes the piece so compelling to examine. Undoubtedly, the underlying shimmering luster is another important attribute. When impeccable preservation is added, a rare marriage of technical perfection and stunning visual appeal is achieved. An unimprovable coin that is certainly within the condition census for this date. This attractive example ended up selling for $4,800. Number 2. This is 1947 S Roosevelt dime in MS68 condition with full bands. Gentle pastel-like shades of powder blue and pink are enhanced by spring green and sunset red at the left obverse border. Fully struck with bright, frosty luster overall. PCGS reports just one specimen finer, with plus designation but none numerically finer whatsoever. This gem ended up selling for $6,168.75. Number 1. And this is 1956 Roosevelt dime in PR69 deep cameo condition. With the coin market booming, this year's proof set sales nearly doubled those of the year previously. By this point the proof sets of previous years were such objects of speculative trading that some dealers actually displayed chalkboards at coin shows with their buy/sell prices updated several times daily. This issue is common across all grades through PF69, with enough certified as cameo to be readily collectible. Ultra cameo or deep cameo examples, however, remain fairly scarce. This one fetched a sum of $17,437.50 with buyer's fee at auction. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and may the rarest coins be in your collection. Don't forget to smash thumbs up. Stay well. Hey coin collectors. Welcome back to Coin Oz. Today I'll show you 8 highly sought after Jefferson nickels that sell for good money at auctions. Smash that subscribe button below this video and let's get started. Number 8. This 1958 Jefferson nickel proof. Graded as PR69 Deep Cameo by PCGS. Each side is brilliant and starkly contrasted, with liquid-like mirrors and satiny devices. An essentially flawless coin. This is single finest specimen reported by PCGS. It was sold for $7,200. Number 7. This is 1952 D. Jefferson nickel in MS67 full steps. According to Heritage Auctions, only about 12% of all mint state PCGS submissions for the 1952 D. Jefferson nickel have been designated as full steps. Rings of blue, green, yellow, and rose-violet toning surround untoned centers. There are predictably few marks, and the impression is razor sharp. We note 2 specks of aqua residue on the obverse, one in front of the forehead and another below the star between Liberty and the date. It was sold for $8,400. Number 6. This is 1964 Jefferson nickel with repunched mint mark D over D graded in mint state 65+. The repunching on the D is plainly visible beneath a loop on this popular cherry picker's variety. This high-end gem is sharply struck in most areas, save for on the steps where slight softness is seen. A few small marks on Jefferson's cheek limit the grade. Brilliant and appealing. It was sold for $9,000. Number 5. This is 1944 P. Jefferson nickel struck on a steel cent planchet. Graded as EF40 by PCGS. An originally preserved example, both sides exhibit ruddy pewter and olive gray patina that is lightest at the high points where a trace of wear has resulted in the EF40 designation from PCGS. The strike is flush to the right border on both sides, the left peripheral devices mostly off the planchet, but the date area full and the P mint mark also sharp in the upper reverse field. Those design elements that are fully present are suitably bold for the assigned grade, and the surfaces are generally smooth and pleasing in appearance. Due to the brevity of the wartime silver alloy Jefferson nickel series of 1942 to 1945, major mint errors involving these issues are rare and eagerly sought by specialists. The present example is associated by date with the famous 1944 steel Lincoln cents, cousins to the even more famous 1943 bronze cents, which are both legendary wrong planchet errors in their own right. It was sold for $9,600. Number 4. This is 1940 Jefferson nickel with reverse of 1940. Graded as PR68 by PCGS. This amazing coin has exceptional polychrome toning, especially vibrant on the obverse. The devices are sharply rendered, and the pristine fields are deeply mirrored. It was sold for $10,062.50. Number 3. This is 1961 D. Jefferson nickel in MS64 condition with full steps. An important strike rarity in the Jefferson nickel series, the 1961 D is seldom encountered with 5 or more visible steps leading up to the porch of Monticello. Both sides are satiny and fully lustrous with lovely champagne toning. It was sold for $11,162.50. Number 2. This is 1941 Jefferson nickel proof. The Philadelphia Mint produced 18,720 proof sets in 1941, and most of the nickel coins were sharply struck, attractive examples. That being said, few specimens can match the quality of this magnificent PR68 Jefferson nickel. Some nickel proofs of this date display planchet roughness on the portrait, but this specimen shows smooth surfaces throughout. The design elements exhibit razor-sharp definition, including the 6 full steps on Monticello. Perhaps the most appealing aspect of this coin is the vivid, iridescent toning that mingles shades of ice blue, pale green, and violet in a fascinating visual treat. It fetched a sum of $14,950. Number 1. And this is 1942 D. Jefferson nickel in MS66 condition with full steps. Another repunched D over D variety. The 1942 D is considered nearly, if not equally, as scarce as the 1939 D by noted Jefferson nickel Bernard Nagingist. With the coveted D/horizontal D mint mark, the 1942 D is the unrivaled series key issue. Together with the full steps designation, this premium gem nickel becomes an unsurpassable registry set coin and the capstone of a fine nickel collection. In terms of surface quality and eye appeal, this example excels as well. Bright peach gold toning at the margins surround the lustrous, largely untoned portrait of Jefferson. The reverse is equally lustrous with dappled peach gold and pale blue shades. It was sold for $17,050.43. Thanks for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating numismatic content. Take care. God's will, until the next time. Hey coin collectors. Welcome back to our channel where we uncover the rarest finds in the world of collecting. Get ready to embark on a journey as we showcase 8 rare coins that command premiums at auctions. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 8. This is 1988 D Washington quarter in MS67 condition. According to the NGC price guide, as of October 2023, a Washington quarter from 1988 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market 1988 D quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $495. Examples graded MS67 and higher are scarce to rare. This MS67 gem fetched a sum of $1,645 at auction. Number 7. Here is 1988 P. Roosevelt dime in MS68 condition with full bands. Full bands refers to the level of detail and definition present on the horizontal lines or bands on the torch design found on the reverse, tail side, of the dime. These bands are part of the torch that is depicted on the dime, and the term full bands is often used by coin collectors and numismatists to describe dimes where these bands are well defined and fully separated. MS68 specimens with this designation are rare and PCGS reported just 2 specimens in this elusive grade with none finer. It was sold for $1,560. Number 6. 1989 Lincoln cent struck on a 1988 P. Roosevelt dime. Elusive double denomination coin. Graded in mint state 65 by NGC. According to Heritage Auctions, a 1988 P dime apparently became wedged in a crevice of a tote bin and remained there until the date changeover of the cent dies. Roosevelt gazes due north relative to the portrait of Lincoln. The profiles of both presidents are present. The dime date is complete and the dime mint mark is bold. The date is nearly complete with the right portion of the 9 absent. It was sold for $2,115. Number 5. This is 1989 P. Washington quarter struck on a cent planchet. Graded in mint state 63 read by PCGS. The holder lists a weight of 2.5 grams that is consistent with a copper-coated zinc planchet. Peach-tinged copper-gold surfaces are dappled with lavender and amethyst hues. The dies were positioned perfectly to capture the date and mint mark, though all of the word Liberty is off the flan. It ended up selling for $2,280. Number 4. This is 1987 P. Kennedy half dollar in MS68 condition. A blush of light golden color graces essentially perfect surfaces on each side, while the reverse adds a couple of faint lavender gold accents near the right border. It was sold for $4,112.50. Number 3. Here is 1988 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 66 read by PCGS. The die doubling is most obvious on Lincoln's ear, with the lobe duplicated south of the primary ear. This is the only attributed example of the variety at PCGS in a red holder. It was sold for $3,120. Number 2. 1989 Silver Eagle. Graded as MS70 with star designation by NGC. This amazing silver eagle is housed in a John M. Mercani hand-signed NGC holder. The fields are fully mirrored, and in addition to the NGC star designation, this example is proof-like although not designated as such. Both sides are brilliant and untoned with bold design definition. It ended up selling for $7,500. Number 1. And this is 1974 S proof quarter dollar. Graded as PR70 DO Cameo by PCGS. According to the grading service, the 1974 S proof Washington quarter is fairly common. It can be obtained inexpensively just about in any condition or up to about PR69 deep cameo. Only in PR70 deep cameo is it very difficult to obtain, and any example in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition will command a significant premium. This specimen is literally the perfect coin. Liquid mirror fields contrast boldly with the strongly impressed devices to produce a memorable deep cameo effect. The present coin is simply unimprovable. It was sold for $10,925. So this wraps up today's episode. Like, share, comment and subscribe. God's will, see you in the next video. Take care. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we've got something truly exciting in store for you. In this short video, we're about to dive into the fascinating world of numismatics and explore 4 rare US coins that are worth big money even in their well-worn, circulated condition. So, if you're a collector or simply curious about the hidden treasures that might be hiding in your coin jar, you're in for a treat. Without further ado, let's unveil these precious pieces of American history. Subscribe. Number 4. This is 1965 Washington quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet. Graded as AU55 by NGC. AU stands for about uncirculated in Sheldon's coin grading scale. Highly elusive error variety. During 1965, 90% silver quarters were struck bearing 1964 dates, while quarters in the newly introduced clad composition were dated 1965. Given the enormous minages of both issues, it was inevitable that some silver quarter planchets ended up struck with 1965 dates, a transitional alloy error similar to the famous 1943 copper cents. This lightly circulated pearl gray example is attractive despite a few thin field marks near the profile. It was sold for $8,400. Number 3. This is 1922 No D Lincoln cent with strong reverse. A die pair 2 specimen. Graded as AU58 by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, die pair 2 denotes the strong reverse variety for the 1922 No D cent, which is the most sought-after variation of the guidebook variety. The No D cent is a major rarity in red or red and brown condition, leaving most collectors to seek attractive brown coins, such as the current CAC example. Satiny chocolate brown patina displays slight iridescence when rotated in hand. The reverse is sharp, as the die pair 2 designation requires, while the obverse shows the diagnostic die weakness. It was sold for $9,600. Number 2. This is 1916 Buffalo nickel with double die obverse. Graded as VF20 by PCGS. VF standing for very fine. The date and feather tips are strongly die doubled counterclockwise. The variety is an example of pivoted hub doubling. The pivot point was circa 130 on the obverse, which led to the greatest doubling between 6 and 9 o'clock. FS 101 was not reported until 1962, by which time most survivors were well worn. It is rarer than the 1918 7th D, and is in fact the key to a complete guidebook collection of the popular series. This stone gray example has a clear date, and all other legends are bold. No marks are remotely consequential. It was sold for $10,800. Number 1. And here is 1969 S Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded as extremely fine 45 by PCGS. There are 4 distinctive double die obverse varieties that rank among the highly collectible variants in the Lincoln cent series. They are the famous 1955, the lesser known but extremely rare 1958, the 1969 S that is offered here, and the 1972 double die variety that is less rare but still important. There are a number of other less well-known double die varieties among Lincoln cents, mostly from the Philadelphia Mint. The present variety is the most valuable double die variety from San Francisco. Note that on this lightly circulated example that the date and all lettering are prominently doubled, but the mint mark is not doubled. That is a feature of genuine 1969 S double die pieces that separate them from the frequently seen coins with strike doubling. Thanks for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating coin-related content. God's will, see you in the next episode. Hey coin collectors. Welcome back to Coin Oz. In today's video we are going to show you 8 rare and valuable US coins showcased at Great Collections auction this year. Hit that subscribe button below this video and let's dive in. Number 8. 1992 Lincoln cent. Graded in mint state 69 red by PCGS. This coin is on the verge of achieving numismatic perfection. Both sides radiate vibrant coppery orange mint luster with pinpoint striking definition and excellent surface preservation. It was sold for $1,743.75 with buyer's fee. Number 7. This is 1938 D Buffalo nickel with repunched mint mark D over D graded in mint state 67 plus by PCGS. According to Ron Guth, the 1938 D/D Buffalo nickel is a common, but popular, variety. The mint mark shows clear doubling from having been punched into the die twice. Mint state examples are available by the thousands, often in gem condition. MS67 plus graded specimens are scarce with just 5 finer according to PCGS census. Number 6. This is 1957 Jefferson nickel in PR69 condition. Comes with cameo designation. According to PCGS, in PR68 condition it is much scarcer and tougher to find. Anything grading higher than PR69 is almost unheard of. PCGS reports just 3 specimens with cameo designation in this lofty grade. None are certified finer. This one was sold for $2,950.88 with buyer's fee. Number 5. This is vividly toned 1932S Washington quarter in MS65 plus condition. CAC proven key date issue representative. Extraordinary premium gem quality for a key date Washington quarter issue that enjoys strong demand throughout the numismatic grading scale. Delicate champagne gold toning on the reverse gives way to brilliance on the obverse. Both sides are fully frosted in finish with a razor-sharp strike and outstanding surface preservation. The Great Depression served to limit coinage of many denominations during the early to mid-1930s, and the quarter was no exception. At just 408,000 coins struck, in fact, the 1932S has the lowest mintage in the circulation strike Washington series. This specimen fetched a sum of $4,612.50 with buyer's fee. Number 4. Another toned exquisite quarter dollar. This one a proof issue. 1942 Washington quarter in PR68 plus condition. A grade later was approved by CAC. According to NGC, proof sales rose about 40% over those of 1941 and would have continued their rapid climb, were it not for the interruption of World War II. This turned out to be the last year of proof coinage until 1950. The Philadelphia Mint coined some 28,000 proof quarters just to have the 21,000 offered for sale. An additional 123 appear in published figures, but these coin were reserved for assay and subsequently destroyed. The proof quarters of 1942 were well made overall, though the problem of over-polished dies left many coins with poor or missing details among the design features of lowest relief. Gems are plentiful through PF67, but examples grading higher are very rare. This PR68 plus gem ended up selling for $6,019.88 with buyer's fee. Number 3. 1961 D Lincoln cent in MS67 plus red condition. According to PCGS, the 1961 D Lincoln cent is one of the worst struck cents from 1932 to date. Finding sharply struck superb gems can be really troublesome. PCGS population of MS67 gems are comprised of just 20 coins with none numerically finer. Only 4 specimens including this coin with plus designation. It was sold for $6,468.75 with buyer's fee on October 22, 2023. Number 2. This is 1966 Roosevelt dime from Special Mint set. Graded as SP69 cameo by PCGS. According to NGC, in 1964, the United States faced a coinage shortage. Due to this, the Mint ceased production of normal proof coins, which required significantly more work with die and planchet preparation. As a substitute, they created the Special Mint set, which contained coins that weren't quite proofs, but were clearly of a higher quality than normal circulation coins. This allowed the Mint to place more resources into producing coins for circulation. These special sets were issued in 1965, 1966 and 1967 before normal proof production started once more in 1968. This specimen was sold for $7,143.75 with buyer's fee. Number 1. And here is 1951 Lincoln cent in MS67 plus red condition. Despite a generous mintage and a high survival rate in mint state due to the saving of original rolls, this issue is rare in MS67 RD. The culprit seems to be an overall dull color and light staining as the result of the planchet cleaning process. This issue is nearly devoid of collectible varieties. This CAC proven superb gem ended up selling for $9,056.25 with buyer's fee. That's all folks. Thanks for watching this episode. As always, if you are interested in posting your coins for sale, you can check out our website. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Take care. Hey everyone. Today's episode features 7 rare and valuable US coins you should avoid spending these days. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 7. This is 1927's Lincoln cent in MS64 plus red condition. According to NGC, this is another issue which is typically found from worn dies, though there are enough well-struck pieces that they may be found with patience. The coin illustrated is reveals a fresh obverse die paired with a moderately worn reverse. Finding a 1927 cent struck from matching fresh dies is a rarity, though it seems to be more likely than for the mint cents of the preceding several years. Fully red examples are very rare, regardless of numeric grade, and these coins tend to have a dull, subdued red color. This cent ended up selling for $2,334.38 with buyer's fee. Number 6. Here is 1934 Washington quarter with medium motto. Graded in mint state 67 by PCGS. According to Stack's Bowers, intense frosty luster is seen on both sides, the surface is enhanced by blushes of iridescent golden apricot, champagne pink and blue-gray toning. This quarter is sharply struck and has excellent eye appeal. 1934 is only the second year in which the mint produced quarters of John Flanagan's newly introduced Washington design. The economic downturn of the Great Depression resulted in reduced need for new coinage, and the mint did not produce any quarters in 1933. The Philadelphia Mint struck 31,912,052 quarters in 1934, and attractive superb gems such as this are scarce. It ended up selling for $6,000. Number 5. 1942 D Washington quarter with double die reverse. Graded as MS66 plus by PCGS and later confirmed by CAC. According to the Cherry Picker's Guide, the doubling on this variety is most prominent on the eagle's beak, the arrows, and the branch above the mint mark. A well-struck premium gem with bold satin luster and light silver gray, gold, and speckled russet patina. The surfaces are clean and mark-free. It was sold for $8,225. Number 4. This is 1932 Lincoln cent in MS67 plus red condition. According to Stack's Bowers, splendid golden orange surfaces are fully struck with a silky smooth, virtually pristine appearance. One of several low mintage Depression era Lincoln cents that saw widespread hoarding beginning in the mid-1930s, the 1932 is more plentiful in mint state than a delivery of 9,062,000 pieces might imply. At the superb gem level of preservation, however, this issue is rare and seldom offered in today's market. It fetched a sum of $9,600. Number 3. Here is 1903 Morgan silver dollar. Graded as MS67 plus by PCGS and further proven by CAC. With a mintage of over 4.6 million coins, the 1903 P Morgan dollar is not a rarity in any sense of the word. Additionally, some bags of this date were released in the 1960s, which helps to explain many of the higher-end coins in the census. According to the NGC Price Guide, as of October 2023, a Morgan dollar from 1903 in circulated condition is worth between $40 and $75. However, on the open market 1903 silver dollars in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $24,000. This one ended up selling for $10,575 with buyer's fee on October 15, 2023. Number 2. Moving on with this 1982 copper-plated zinc penny with small date. Graded in mint state 69 red by PCGS. So how to tell the difference between small date and large date varieties? Here are some tips for you. According to Stephen Cochran, the top loop of the 8 is much smaller than the bottom loop on the small date. They are nearly even on the large date. The diagonal part of the 2 is straight on the large date, but curves down to meet the foot of the 2 on the small date. An incredible condition rarity from this transitional modern issue. The surfaces are essentially flawless, painted in an even salmon pink hue. Satiny luster cartwheels without interruption across each side, emphasizing the sharply rendered devices. It represents an incredible rarity and it ended up selling for $15,600. Number 1. 1953's Jefferson nickel. Graded in mint state 65 with full steps. The key status of the 1953s has been recognized for at least 30 years, second only to the impossible 1954s nickel. Bernard Nagingist explains, although easily found as a BU coin, most are struck from worn dies. Full strike blazers are periodically seen, but are rare. A full struck 5 full step coin is a major rarity, and few have been discovered. This is one of the real stoppers. This piece shows warm, glowing toning over the frosted surfaces. The margins are blurred with the heavy dye erosion that is common to this issue, and many interior details also exhibit familiar softness, but the steps of Monticello retain their sharpness in the dye and are well brought up on the coin. It ended up selling for $24,000. Thanks for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to our channel for daily updates on numismatic content. In addition, you'll gain access to a wealth of informative videos, showcasing rare coins, historical insights, and valuable tips to enhance your numismatic knowledge. Have a good day. Welcome back to our channel where we uncover the rarest finds in the world of collecting. Get ready to embark on a journey as we showcase 8 rare coins that are worth money these days. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 8. Starting with this error penny. 1972 memorial cent struck over 1971 cent. Graded in mint state 62 brown by PCGS. The faudy lettering Liberty of undertype is visible on obverse side, while on the reverse no magnifying glass is required to spot the traces of slanting memorial and shadowy letterings of United States of America and E pluribus unum from undertype. This MS 62 cent fetched a sum of $1,560 at auction. Number 7. Here is 1947 Washington quarter in MS 67 plus condition. CAC proven excellent gem with slight iridescence toning around the borders. According to NGC, with the end of massive wartime contracts, economic activity declined throughout the nation during 1946-49, and this trend is evident from falling mintage figures. Fewer than half the number of quarters were coined at the Philadelphia Mint this year as opposed to 1946. The 1947 P is certainly no rarity, and a large number of gems have been certified through MS 67. But anything grading higher is considered scarce. This plus designated specimen was sold for $1,740. Number 6. This is 1943-42 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 66 by PCGS. According to COIN World, though it is a known die variety, and has been for many years, it has only ever been recognized for its die doubling. It is currently listed as such in the Cherry Picker's Guide by Bill Fivas and the late J.T. Stanton, variety FS 101-019.5, among the 1943 S Lincoln cents. The misalignment of the designs between the 1942 dated hub and the 1943 dated hub pivots around a spot on the left obverse rim. Because of this swing, the coin shows only trivial doubling on the word Liberty close to the pivot point, but some fairly strong doubling almost due north and south at the base of the 1. There is similar doubling under the top curve of the 9 and along the right side the leg of the 9. This error penny ended up selling for $2,040. Number 5. This is 1948 S Washington quarter in MS 67 plus condition. The San Francisco Mint returned to wartime production numbers for the quarter dollar in 1948, though this would lead to none being coined there at all the following year. Like all S Mint coins, this issue was widely saved by collectors and speculators. Thousands of mint state pieces survive, and the certified population is strong through MS 66. This MS 67 plus graded specimen sold for $1,920. Number 4. This is 1925 S California half dollar in mint state 67. In mid-1920s well-renowned sculptor Joe Mora was asked to design a coin that would help capture the spirit of the state's Diamond Jubilee. He employed 2 symbolic motifs, a gold rush prospector for the obverse and a grizzly bear on the reverse. An interesting touch that Mora made was to ensure that the fields of the coin remained unpolished, leaving the boldly textured surface just as it was on the sculptor's model. The Congressional Act authorizing the coin specified a maximum mintage of 300,000 pieces. Yet only 150,000 coins were actually struck and released. In the end, 63,606 pieces remained unsold, and were eventually melted, leaving a net mintage of 86,394. It remains a very popular issue to this day. This specimen was sold for $2,280. Number 3. This is 1968 S Lincoln cent struck on a 1965 Roosevelt dime. Highly elusive double denomination coin. Graded as PR62 by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, this is an obvious overstrike or so-called double denomination error, showing a full outline of the Roosevelt dime portrait on the obverse around Lincoln, rotated 180 degrees. Significant undertype is also visible on the reverse. Each side is brilliant and deeply mirrored, showing only minimal handling marks to limit the numeric grade. It was sold for $3,840. Number 2. Here is 1935's Lincoln Cent in MS67 red condition. This San Francisco issue is available in full red condition, but such coins are rarely offered in MS67. The present coin displays satiny copper-orange luster and exceptional preservation. Each side is entirely devoid of carbon spotting. It was sold for $6,000. Number 1. This is 1914 Lincoln Cent in MS67 red condition. According to Stax Bowers, this is a truly splendid gem in all regards, both sides sharply struck with a softly frosted, reddish-orange appearance that is fully deserving of the coveted RD designation from PCGS. Although readily obtainable in an absolute sense, mint state 1914 cents are scarce compared to those of other early Philadelphia mint Lincoln issues, especially at the finest levels of the full red category. It was sold for $31,200. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found this information helpful. If you did, then please consider hitting like and subscribe buttons below. Stay well and see you in the next episode. Welcome back to our channel where we uncover the rarest finds in the world of collecting. Get ready to embark on a journey as we showcase 8 rare US coins that are worth big money these days. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 8. This is 1962 Lincoln Cent in MS67 red condition. Flashy with bright copper gold surfaces and excellent eye appeal. The design elements are well impressed and both sides are devoid of mentionable marks or spots. PCGS reported overall 36 gems in this grade with just single numerically finer. This specimen was sold for $5,875. Number 7. Here is undated Franklin $half struck on a dim planchet. Graded in mint state 63 by NGC. According to Heritage Auctions, Type 1 reverse with 4 feather tips left of perch. A desirable wrong planchet error. The centering favors Franklin's profile, which is complete. The date and mint mark areas are off the flan. E pluribus unum is intact. The eagle's left wing is present, along with most of the Liberty Bell. Appropriately, most of $half is absent. The borders are toned golden brown, though the centers remain brilliant. It was sold for $9,000. Number 6. 1948 Lincoln Cent. Graded in mint state 67 red by PCGS. A boldly struck, pristine superb gem that is bathed in mint luster. Examination will discover a trace of carbon on the lower reverse, but still one of the finest graded and worthy of any top-notch collection. It was sold for $10,350. Number 5. 1947's Jefferson nickel in MS67 condition with full steps. Rose gray surfaces show shining luster and splendid preservation on both sides, adding up to enormous eye appeal. The obverse is free of mentionable contact marks and boasts an extremely sharp strike. The reverse shows one small, thin scrape in the left field above the dome, and a small tick on the left portico column of Monticello, marks well within the context of the grade. The central stairs show 5 full steps, making this piece a strike as well as conditional rarity. The second edition of Bernard Nagingist's Jefferson Nickel Analyst, 2002, rates the 1947S as very rare with 5 full steps. It was sold for $14,100. Number 4. 1949's Jefferson Nickel in MS67 condition with full steps. The 1949S is a remarkably scarce issue with a full step incidence estimated at 1 in 150 coins. As Bernard Nagingist commented in his 2002 series reference, rolls sometimes available. However, 4 original rolls would need to be found in order to locate a single full steps coin. Condition is obviously a problem for this issue as well with so few high-grade examples certified. This specimen ended up selling for $15,275. Number 3. This is 1964 Kennedy $half with accented hair. Graded as PR68 Deep Cameo by PCGS. The accented hair design is believed to have been the first design used to strike proof Kennedy $half in 1964. The accented hair variety displays extra hair, right above Kennedy's ear, as opposed to a regular coin which will have less hair above the ear. The accented hair variety is rare in PR68 Deep Cameo at PCGS and almost unknown finer. This piece is brilliant with stark white on black contrast and dramatic eye appeal. The strike is fully rendered, and no imperfections are observed. This specimen was sold for $17,400. Number 2. Here is attractively toned 1948 Franklin half dollar in MS68 condition with full bell lines. It is star designated by NGC. The 1948 was the first year of issue for the Franklin half dollar. The previous year, 1947, was the first year the mint issued mint sets in the now widely recognized flat packs. Each mint that produced coins in a given year, through 1958, had a separate cardboard holder. What is important to know about this packaging is each holder had a significant presence of sulfur in its composition, which in turn produced magnificent toning on at least one side, sometimes both as seen here. The surfaces display rich original, multicolored toning, deeper on the obverse than the reverse. Obviously of mint set origin. It fetched a sum of $26,400. Number 1. And this is 1964 Washington quarter from Special Mint Set. Graded in Mint State 67 by PCGS. Possibly produced as prototypes for the 5-coin special mint sets offered by the Mint from 1965 through 1967. A small hoard of previously unknown 1964 special mint sets was discovered in the 1990s. This spectacular superb gem Washington quarter was included in one of those sets. The design elements are sharply detailed throughout and the impeccably preserved surfaces are lustrous and appealing. PCGS reports just 13 specimens in this lofty grade, with single numerically finer. This example was sold for $23,400. That's all, folks. If you have any questions or want to share your own numismatic discoveries, please feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like buttons. God's will, until the next time. Hello, dear coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to our numismatic channel. In this relatively short video, I'm going to familiarize you with 4 incredibly rare US coins that command strong premiums at auctions. So hit that subscribe button below, and let's dive in. Number 4. This is 1965 Roosevelt dime struck on a 90% silver planchet. Graded in Mint State 62 by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, facing a coin shortage and a rising price for silver, the U.S. Mint switched to a clad composition in 1965. But there remained a large inventory of silver dime planchets, which were coined in due course, backdated 1964. The lustrous and lightly toned surfaces resemble that of a typical uncirculated clad dime, except the edge lacks telltale red stripe characteristic of the modern alloy. It was sold for $9,000. Number 3. This is 1952 D Washington quarter with splendid toning. Graded in Mint State 67 plus by PCGS and later confirmed by CAC. Totally original, clearly a coin that was from an original 1952 mint set, and carefully preserved. Fully lustrous, the obverse offers some interesting, almost proof-like reflection in the fields. According to Legend Rare Coin Auctions, the obverse clearly sat against the holder, which imparted a wonderful, Easter egg pastel patina over the bright, silver surfaces. Washington's portrait stands out, almost in 3D relief with exceptionally sharp definition. Likewise, the eagle is crisply defined. The surfaces are satin smooth and devoid of any kind of impairment, totally pristine. It was sold for $21,150. Number 2. Here is 1916 Buffalo nickel with double die obverse. Graded as AU50 by PCGS. Extremely clean surfaces dominate this piece. Only when using a strong glass could we find a small hidden tick on the cheek. There is a natural light luster beneath the totally original deep nickel toning. All of the details exhibit light original wear. You do not need a glass to see the double date. The eye appeal is superb for an AU50 coin. It ended up selling for $25,850. Number 1. And this is famous 2000p Sacagawea dollar, Washington statehood quarter mule. One of only about a dozen examples known according to Stax Bowers. Graded in Mint State 67 by NGC. The definition of a mule is the pairing of two dies not intended to be used together. For this reason, mules are extremely rare and highly sought after. This coin is die pair 1, die crack from rim through F in of on the Sacagawea dollar side. A fully brilliant and highly lustrous superb gem Sacagawea golden dollar, Washington statehood quarter mule, the obverse of the quarter mated with the reverse of the Sacagawea dollar in an undated marriage from the year 2000, the year in which the first of these rare mules was discovered, as well as the first date in the Sacagawea dollar series. Rich and lively cartwheels cascade across the satiny surface, and beautiful rose and orange iridescence engages both sides. This true rarity fetched a sum of $158,625 at auction. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found this information helpful. If you did, then please consider hitting like and subscribe buttons below. Have a good one. Welcome, esteemed audience. I'm thrilled to have you join me in this captivating episode, where I'll unveil 8 exceptionally rare US coins you should look for. These unassuming coins have now evolved into treasures valued at hundreds of dollars. So buckle up as we embark on a journey through time and currency. Subscribe. Number 8. This is 1956 D. Jefferson nickel in mint state 67. Elusive 5-cent piece with 5 full steps according to NGC. The 1956 D poses a challenge for advanced registry collectors, as full steps examples are scarce, and they are rare and high grade. The present coin is the sole finest example at NGC, and it is rivaled only by one other coin in this grade at PCGS. Delicate champagne toning complements satiny luster and sharply struck design elements. It was sold for $1,440. Number 7. Here is 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent. According to NGC, this coin was cleaned, therefore service assigned uncirculated details without numerical grade. The estimated value of a 1909 Lincoln cent wheat reverse in mint state, MS, with a BN strike character is between $1,530 and to $20,000. The coin's worth rises to about $1,700 to $27,500 for mint state with airbase strike character and $2,000 to $90,000 for mint state with RD strike character coins in the current market. This one ended up selling for $1,800. Number 6. Here is 1921 piece dollar in MS 64 plus condition. According to the NGC price guide, as of October 2023, a piece dollar from 1921 in circulated condition is worth between $100 and $525. However, on the open market 1921 piece silver dollars in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $67,500. This one was sold for $1,440 on October 18, 2023. Number 5. 1960 D. Roosevelt dime. Graded in mint state 68 with full torch by NGC. 1960 D dimes, while very common in mint state, have proved to be elusive in the higher grades sought by advanced collectors. A high mintage issue that was accorded no respect for decades, most survivors were traded by the canvas bag for years, becoming scarred by many tiny marks. Full torch gems are especially sought, and they bring a good premium. This specimen ended up selling for $1,560. Number 4. This is 1958 D. Lincoln cent in MS 68 condition. According to Heritage Auctions, this plentiful final year wheat cent issue is popular and high grade with registry collectors. The finest pieces at PCGS are graded MS 67 plus red, but the current coin is one of 4 finer MS 68 red coins at NGC. Bold devices and satiny copper orange luster complement unblemished surfaces. It was sold for $1,920. Number 3. 1960 D. Washington quarter dollar. Graded in mint state 67 plus by NGC and later confirmed by CAC. More than 60 million pieces were struck and less than 65 years have passed since this 1960 D quarter left the Denver Mint, yet only 2 dozen or so examples meet or exceed the MS 67 plus grade of this lustrous, immaculate example. CAC endorsement assures its high quality for the grade. A mere hint of golden patina serves to confirm the remarkably smooth, original surfaces. It ended up selling for $2,520. Number 2. This is 1959 Washington quarter with vividly toned surfaces. Graded in mint state 67 plus by PCGS. According to NGC, with the economy on the mend, Philadelphia turned out far more quarter dollars this year than in 1958. Nevertheless, the trend was clearly toward Denver striking greater numbers annually. This makes sense, since it had taken on additional service territory when the San Francisco Mint stopped producing coins in 1955. This issue is plentiful through MS-66, but the number of coins certified as MS-67 is far below those of surrounding years. Such pieces are scarce and highly sought. As is true of all Philadelphia Mint quarters 1956-64, examples are known struck from retired or unneeded proof dies. This specimen ended up selling for $3,840. Number 1. 1957 Lincoln Cent in MS-67 plus red condition. CAC approved rose red gem. A conditionally scarce superb gem red example of this late wheat cent issue, rare in this grade with the PCGS plus designation. Luster is frosty and vibrant, yielding rich copper orange and rose red hues with no carbon spotting. Strike sharpness is similarly impressive. It was sold for $20,400. Thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating numismatic content. Have a good one. Hello dear viewers. Today, we're diving deep into the world of numismatics, where fiery prices and extraordinary values await. 7 rare coins in particular, that make a lot of money. Hit that subscribe button below and let's get started. Number 7. This is 1969 D Kennedy half dollar with attractive toning. Graded in mint state 65 by PCGS. According to NGC, Teehee 1969 D half dollar is a near twin to the 1968 D edition in terms of availability. Certified gems are common through MS65, with enough MS66 examples to mostly meet the demand from advanced collectors. A sprinkling of PL coins exists to whet the appetites of series specialists. There are very few varieties known for such a large mintage requiring many dies. This MS65 specimen ended up selling for $1,715.62 with buyer's fee. Number 6. This is 1985 D Lincoln Cent in MS69 red condition. This lustrous red-orange superb gem is in the threshold of numismatic perfection. Both sides are devoid of mentionable contact marks or blemishes. PCGS certified 11 specimens in this lofty grade including this gem, with none finer. It ended up selling for $2,040. Number 5. Here is 1955 Jefferson nickel. Graded in mint state 67 full steps by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, the 1955 Jefferson nickel is seldom seen with a sharp strike, and full steps coins are major rarities at the superb gem level. This is a condition census example with just 2 specimens in this grade and none numerically finer. Delicate champagne toning warms the satiny, pristine luster. Central definition of the steps is pleasing. It was sold for $5,040. Number 4. Here is 1964 Kennedy half dollar with exquisite toning. Bold iridescence is seen around central devices of obverse. Graded in mint state 67 plus by PCGS. Though millions of pieces survive in mint state, most are quite heavily marked from years of being traded in bag quantities. Gems are readily available in grades as high as MS66, though many of these required attractive toning to push them past the MS64 level. Anything above MS67 is considered relatively rare. This gem was sold for $8,156.25 with buyer's fee. Number 3. This is 1913 D Lincoln Cent in MS66 plus red condition. CAC approved superb gem. This issue is only moderately scarce in circulated grades, and enough mint state pieces have survived to meet the needs of most collectors. The census data reveal that this is also a relatively plentiful issue in fully red gem condition, something that rarely can be said of mint mark cents dated 1911-15. Fully struck pieces from fresh dies are scarce. This elusive specimen ended up selling for $13,500 with buyer's fee. Number 2. This is 1951 Franklin half dollar in MS67 plus condition with full bell lines. This issue experienced the highest production of half dollars since the final war year of 1945, a sure sign that the record wartime production had been fully distributed and was beginning to need replenishment. On the downside, the dies for 1951 P half dollars were run too long, with poor details being the result. Some of this was due to deterioration of the master hubs, and this problem grew steadily until new masters were made in 1960. Examples are scarce above MS64, with just enough graded MS65 to meet the needs of serious collectors. The proportion of coins certified as having FBL, however, is lower than for preceding dates in the series. This attractive specimen was sold for $25,312.50 with buyer's fee. Number 1. Here is 1925 D Lincoln cent in MS66 red condition. According to NGC, the year 1925 is notorious for poorly struck coins from heavily eroded dies. This applies across all denominations, but it is most apparent in the cents, nickels and dimes. The 1925 D cent is nearly unrivaled as the rarest date with a full strike from fresh dies. Even the most advanced collector may have to compromise a bit with this issue. PCGS reported just 3 specimens in this high-end grade including this coin, with none finer. It was sold for $92,812.50 with buyer's fee. That's all folks. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to unlock more valuable insights. Take care. Welcome to this exciting episode. Today, we're taking a numismatic journey back to the 1980s, a time of iconic pop culture, neon fashion, and, of course, valuable coins. Join us as we explore the top 7 most valuable Lincoln cents from the 1980s according to COIN. Hit that subscribe button below and let's get started. Number 7. 1980s Proof Lincoln cent. Graded as PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS. A perfect coin in an absolute sense. PR70 grade indicates that this particular coin is in state of numismatic perfection, unsurpassed in preservation and strike level. PCGS certified 73 specimens with deep cameo feature in this high-end grade and assigned a guiding price of $1,500. This gem, however, ended up selling for $2,257.88 with buyer's fee. Number 6. 1984 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in mint state 68 plus red by PCGS and further proven by CAC. Lincoln's ear, lower beard, particularly at the neck, and bow tie are prominently doubled. This is a virtually pristine example that shows absolutely no post-striking flaws on either side. Only plating blister may somehow affect the eye appeal. It was sold for $11,812.50 with buyer's fee. Number 5. Here is 1985 Lincoln cent in MS68 plus red condition. It is extremely rare that a Lincoln cent from this period warrants a grade from PCGS as fine as MS68 plus red, but this piece fully deserves it. The coin appears virtually flawless even under magnification. It was sold for $5,625 with buyer's fee. Number 4. This is 1987 Lincoln cent in MS69 red condition. This memorial penny is in the threshold of numismatic perfection. Coin is radiating with orange, coppery red luster, surfaces are void of mentionable distractions or contact marks. PCGS reports just 6 specimens in this high-end gem grade, with none finer. This rare example was sold for $7,593.75 with buyer's fee. Number 3. This is 1981 Lincoln cent in PR70 deep cameo condition. Type 2 variety. Easiest way of distinguishing between Type 1 and Type 2 designs is closely inspecting the mint mark. Type 1 mint mark on the left is less clearly defined and lacks sharp serifs. The 1981 Type 2 mint mark on the right is not only more well clarified but is known for its bulbous serifs, which may be the easiest diagnostic to spot on this latter mint mark variation for 1981. This rare specimen was sold for $12,150 with buyer's fee. Number 2. This is 1982 D Lincoln cent struck on a bronze planchet. Discovered in November 2016 by Minnesota collector Paul Malone. Highly elusive small date cent. Graded as AU58 brown by NGC. According to Stax Bowers, the modified design that the mint prepared for use with the new copper-plated zinc planchets has become known in numismatic circles as the small date variety. This is technically a misnomer since, as related above, the letters in the word liberty and the motto in God we trust were also modified. The easiest way to identify the small date variety, nonetheless, is by looking at the digits in the date. On the small date variety, the digit 2 in the date is much farther from the rim than it is on the large date variety. This specimen was sold for $18,800. Number 1. And this is 1983 Lincoln cent struck on a copper planchet. Graded in mint state 62 brown by PCGS. Originally toned in light gray brown, both sides do reveal flickers of original faded rose luster in the protected areas around and among the devices as the surfaces dip into a light. Sharply struck with few outwardly noticeable blemishes, this pleasing mint state example is sure to excite the advanced Lincoln cent and/or U.S. Mint error specialist. There are only a handful of these known, and had to have been created by leftover copper planchets that were stuck in the planchet bin at the mint but in mid-1982, and somehow remained stuck until the year 1983 came around and were fed into the coining press as normal planchets. This numismatic pinnacle ended up selling for $22,325. That's all, folks. As ever, let me remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. And don't forget to smash thumbs up button. Have a good one. Hey coin collectors. Welcome back to Coin Oz. Today we will show you 5 highly sought after Jefferson nickels that sell for good money at auctions. Smash that subscribe button below this video and let's get started. Number 5. This is 1991 D Jefferson nickel in MS67 condition with full steps. The 1991 D Jefferson nickel is not generally considered a rare coin. However, its value can vary depending on its condition and any specific attributes it may have. An MS67 grade typically indicates that the coin is in mint state 67 condition, which is a relatively high grade and suggests that the coin is well preserved and has minimal wear. Full steps, FS, is a designation used for Jefferson nickels, indicating that the coin steps on Monticello on the reverse side are well defined. Coins with full steps designation are more desirable to collectors. PCGS reports just 4 full-step specimens in this lofty grade with none finer. This superb gem is one of them and it was sold for $2,025 with buyer's fee. Number 4. Here is 1963 Jefferson nickel in mint state 67 with full steps. According to NGC, 1963 nickels are superior in overall quality to their Denver mint cousins, but finding a really desirable specimen will still be challenging. To sustain the record mintages of the early 1960s, it appears that both mints increased the set distance of all dies to extend their useful life. Thus, most coins of these years did not completely fill the dies, exposing unstruck areas of rough planchet on the high points of the design. This elusive gem ended up selling for $5,907.38 with buyer's fee. Number 3. Here is 1983 D Jefferson nickel in mint state 67 with full steps. U.S. Mint produced over 536 million 1983 nickels in Denver branch. Finding those in mint condition is not a problem at all given huge mintage. But full steps examples are scarce in MS66 and higher. MS67 FS examples are almost unheard of. PCGS reports just 2 nickel in that condition, including this masterpiece. It fetched a sum of $7,593.75 with buyer's fee. Number 2. 1949 Jefferson nickel with repunched mint mark D over S graded in mint state 67 with full steps by PCGS. A beautiful superb gem, iridescent champagne apricot toning blends with billowy mint luster. According to Stax Bowers, impressively full in striking detail, both sides are also expertly preserved and expectably smooth for the assigned grade. It was sold for $18,000. Number 1. This is 1939 D Jefferson nickel in MS68 condition with full steps. The scarcer variety from the second year of Jefferson nickel production. Faint gold and peach tones dominate the patina, with tinges of powder blue accenting the rims. The luster is uniform and satiny across each side, complementing the overall untouched surfaces. Writing in his encyclopedia, 1988, Walter Breen postulated that this reverse type comprises possibly 40% of survivors. It currently represents 45% of the 1939 D nickel population certified by PCGS, which confirms Breen's suspicion with surprising accuracy. This variety is remarkably challenging in grades above MS66, and exponentially more so when the full step detail is considered. This one was sold for $26,400. Thanks for watching this video. Please, don't forget to hit thumbs up before you watch another video. Stay well and God's will. See you in the next episode. Hello dear viewers. Welcome back to our Numismatic channel. In this video we are going to show you 8 super rare pennies that command strong premiums at auctions. Hit that subscribe button below this video and let's dive in. Number 8. Let's start with this memorial cent recently sold on eBay. 1991 S-Proof Lincoln cent. Graded as PF70 Ultra Cameo by NGC. This high-end gem is unsurpassable in terms of strike, preservation and eye appeal. A condition rarity for a modern cent featuring frosty device elements and liquid-like fields. Number 7. This is 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent in MS65 condition. Satiny red and brown example. According to Heritage Auctions, a pleasing gem red and brown example of this key date, showing blended amber, chestnut, and copper gold hues across satiny luster and well-defined devices. No major abrasions are evident, nor carbon spots. Eye appeal is excellent for the grade. Gem examples of the 1909 SVDB cent are always in demand, across all 3 color classifications. This one ended up selling for $3,720 on September 15, 2023. Number 6. Here is 1970 S Lincoln cent in MS65 red condition. Elusive double die obverse variety. A pleasing gem red example of this important guidebook variety. Die doubling is strong on In God We Trust, and is faintly visible on the date. Each side of the coin shows satiny copper gold luster with a reddish tinge. There are no carbon spots, which strengthens the eye appeal. It was sold for $4,080. Number 5. This is 1913 Lincoln cent in PR67 red and brown condition. A sharp, pristine 1913 matte proof, showing broad, squared rims and a rich amber red hue across each side. The tone is a deep red, not truly brown, nor truly red, and thus appropriately designated red and brown even though it is a single color overall. No carbon spots are seen. The 1913 proof is rare in this lofty grade. It was sold for $5,040. Number 4. This is 1955 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded in Mint State 64 brown by PCGS. Luminous chestnut brown luster yields hints of steel blue and lilac color when rotated beneath a light. The strike is sharp, and eye appeal is excellent for the grade. This is a true Mint State brown coin, with no evidence of wear. The 1955 double die is a major guidebook variety and is sought after in all grades. It fetched a sum of $5,520. Number 3. This is 1916 matte proof Lincoln cent in PR65 red condition. The 1916 matte proof Lincoln cent comes from a small mintage of 1050 coins, the bottom rung of a mintage decline that began after 1910, when matte proof cent production hit its peak of 4,083 pieces. The 1916 is the rarest matte proof in high grade after the 1909 VDB. This gem red 1916 is tack sharp and offers a rich array of cherry red, copper orange, and golden green colors. A few scattered specks are seen on the reverse as usual for a coin that has not been dipped. This rare gem ended up selling for $9,987.50. Number 2. Here is popular mint era variety. 1944 Lincoln cent struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet. This coin was tooled and cleaned, therefore NGC assigned AU details. The 1944 steel cent is valuable and rare because it is a 1-year era coin issued by the United States Mint during World War II. Due to the scarcity of copper during the war effort, the Mint used steel to make pennies in 1943. However, a few 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck in steel planchets meant for the 1943 pennies, making them highly sought after by collectors. Only a few are known to exist, making them valuable. This one fetched a sum of $19,975 on eBay. Number 1. And this is attractively toned 1909 VDB Lincoln cent in red and brown condition. This 1909 VDB Lincoln cent certified PR67 plus red and brown PCGS, with the added CAC gold label, is a legendary coin among aficionados of matte-proof Lincolns. Adding further to its credentials, the present coin traces its pedigree to the monumental collection of celebrated Philadelphia merchant and numismatist John Story Jenks, 1839 to 1923. Generous daubs of rose pink dominate the upper hair and forehead of Lincoln and a bit of the reverse around the T and cent, succeeding to light sandy orange colors accented with glints of jade throughout the fields and the remainder of the devices on each side. The fine matte texture is completely pristine and unperturbed throughout, complementing the full proof strike and squared-off inside rims. There is absolutely no trace of carbon, contact, or any other distraction. It was sold for $258,500. Thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating numismatic content. Have a good one. Hey everyone. Welcome back to COIN. In this video I'm going to talk about 8 rare US coins that command strong premiums at auctions. Hit that subscribe button below and let's get acquainted with those gems. Number 8. This is 1931 D Lincoln cent in MS65 red condition. According to NGC, the mintage of cents at Denver plunged in 1931, an inevitable response to the nation's devastated economy. Many of these cents were not released until a few years later, and collector complaints about the unavailability of this and other current issues prompted the Treasury to disseminate instructions on how to obtain up to 2 examples of each coin on hand. Both the real and merely perceived rarity of these early 1930s coins is what created the roll market that was so much a part of the coin business for decades. 1931 D cents were well made for the most part, but quite a few show signs of tired dies. Fully red gems are very scarce, and circulated pieces are slightly scarce. This MS65 gem ended up selling for $960 on October 11, 2023. Number 7. This is an Error 1982 P. Kennedy half dollar. Graded in mint state 67 by PCGS. It's very difficult for novice collector or coin enthusiast spotting the error, as one should closely inspect the back side of the coin for absence of initials of engraver on exerg. This highly elusive no FG half dollar ended up selling for $870 on October 10, 2023. Number 6. Here is 1937 Buffalo nickel proof. Graded as PR66 by NGC. According to NGC, all 1937 proof nickels are fully brilliant, but an extremely small number display enough contrasting texture on their devices to be designated cameo. This issue is plentiful, but the demand from type collectors is quite high and keeps values high, as well. No proofs of this coin type were made for 1938, as it was already known at the beginning of the year that a new Jefferson nickel was on its way. This proof specimen ended up selling for $1,200. Number 5. This is 1936 Washington quarter in MS66 plus condition. According to NGC, the mintage of 1936 D quarters was similar to that of the 1935 D issue. With the saving of BU rolls well established by this period, they should enjoy similar availability in mint state, but this simply is not the case. For reasons unknown, the survival rate of this year's entry in mint state is quite low, some comparing it to the rarity of the very low mintage 1932 D issue. The 1936 D quarter is also rare in comparison to its San Francisco cousin, which had a lower mintage but, perhaps, benefited from the mystique always attached to S-mint coins. When found, 1936 D quarters are generally well struck but may suffer from die erosion that left the fields furrowed and the letters slightly distorted. Gems are noticeably scarcer than for other entries from this period. This MS66 plus gem ended up selling for $1,560. Number 4. Here is 1914 D Lincoln cent. Coin is damaged, therefore PCGS assigned AU details without grade number. Coin grading service didn't mention whether this coin was environmentally damaged or impairment was related to human factor. It was sold for $1,200 on October 10, 2023. Number 3. This is 1943 D Jefferson nickel with full steps designation. Graded in mint state 68 by NGC. Coin displays 5 fully delineated steps on Monticello porch, according to COIN grading service. Why the mintage of 1943 D nickels was relatively low is a mystery, but most likely the Denver Mint was directed to focus on other denominations that year. In any case, this issue is plentiful across all but the highest grades. This nickel ended up selling for $1,560. Number 2. This is non-circulating gold 2014 W. Kennedy half dollar struck for commemorating 50th anniversary. Graded as PR69 Deep Cameo by PCGS, this coin is lustrous, devoid of contact marks and bag marks, and displays outstanding eye appeal. It was sold for $1,560. Number 1. And this is 1918 Lincoln Cent in MS68 red condition. This virtually flawless example really needs to be seen to be fully appreciated. Silky smooth surfaces exhibit vivid mint color of beautiful pinkish red. According to Stax Bowers, the striking detail is razor sharp to full throughout the design, and the eye appeal is extraordinary. While there is no denying that the 1918 is one of the more plentiful early-date Lincoln cents, the mintage is 288,104,634 circulation strikes. High-quality mint-state examples are scarcer than those of 1916 and 1919. Near the pinnacle of numismatic preservation and quality, this full red ultra gem is of the utmost condition rarity. It was sold for $55,200. If you have any questions or want to share your own numismatic discoveries, please feel free to leave a comment below. And as always, keep your eyes peeled for those hidden treasures in your coin collection, because you never know when you might stumble upon the next big find. Until next time, happy collecting. Hey coin collectors. Welcome back to Coin Oz. Today we will show you top 10 Lincoln cents according to Coin Week edition. This video is based on the very article. Lincoln cents, the most popularly collected of all coins produced by the United States, will mark their 115th year of production in 2024. Once a rite of passage for generations of coin collectors, building a complete set of the series has become increasingly difficult in recent years. From million-dollar rarities to the issues that started the great 20th century coin boom, the following is a rundown of Coin Week's picks for the top 10 Lincoln cents. Number 10. 1992 Close AM Cent. In 1992, the United States Mint recut the Lincoln Cent Reverse Master Hub in an effort to sharpen the details and create a better strike. And while the design remained nearly identical, the lettering in the legend United States of America was shifted slightly. In the older design, the letters AM are separated. On the new version, these letters are almost touching. Intended for release in 1993, several new reverse dies were nonetheless used in 1992 by both the Denver and Philadelphia mints. There are roughly a dozen examples of the 1992 D Close AM known. The variety was discovered in December 2001 by collector Colin Cush. According to PCGS, most valuable red example was sold in 2017 for $25,850. Number 9. 1960 Small Date Cent. In 1960, the U.S. Mint updated the master dies for the Lincoln Cent mid-year. As was the case with the 1992 Close AM, dies of both the old style and the new style were put into use. Unlike the 1992 Close AM, however, far more of the older small date coins were struck and released, making the variety much more collectible. As soon as collectors became aware of the situation, interest in the variety exploded and astute dealers were more than eager to sell the coins. Incidentally, the 1960 small date Lincoln Cent is often called the coin that launched coin world. One of most valuable specimens was sold for $4,600 in 2008. Number 8. 1922 No D Cent. In 1922, Philadelphia did not produce Lincoln cents, only Denver did. Why, then, do 1922 cents without mint marks exist? The answer is complicated. As originally shipped, all dies used to strike 1922 cents at the Denver Mint did have a mint mark punch applied to the dies, including the 1922 plain D. Technically this is not a true variety but a die state. As is often the case, dies become damaged during use. If a die is repairable, then a mint worker might efface the die to remove the damage, such as clash marks. In this instance, the D mint mark was accidentally polished off of the die. One of most valuable specimens with strong reverse was sold for $48,000 in 2018. Number 7. 1914 D Lincoln Cent. As one of the smallest mintages second only to the 1909 SVDB and the 1931S, the 1914 D Lincoln Cent is one of the key dates for the entire series. In fact, when Denver struck only 1,193,000 coins, Philadelphia struck over 75 million cents and San Francisco produced over 4 million. Even for Denver, this is a very low mintage. In 1913, the Denver Mint struck nearly 16 million coins and in 1915 it made over 22 million. PCGS CoinFax estimates that only about 10% of the original mintage survives. By 1957, high-grade examples were selling for as much as $210 $2,218 adjusted for inflation. Most of these are from a hoard of 700 pieces that came to market in that decade. Auction record for this variety was set in 2018 at Legend Rare Coin Auctions. This specimen was sold for $158,625. Number 6. 1944 Steel Cent. A companion off-metal error to the 1943 bronze cent, the 1944 steel cent was produced when the mint switched to copper planchets made from recycled shell casings in 1944. There are two possible ways that 1944 steel cents were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, either old 1943 steel planchets or steel blanks intended for foreign coinage slipped into the production line. The latter was not possible at Denver or San Francisco as neither facility struck zinc-coated steel coins for foreign governments that year. Consequently, while there are 25 to 30 known Philadelphia coins and 7 known from Denver, there are only 2 known from San Francisco. The most valuable sale so far was realized at Heritage Auctions. This MS-64 gem was sold for $180,000 at Heritage Auctions. Number 5. 1909 SVDB cent. For the longest time, this coin was considered the king of Lincoln cents. The 1909 SVDB is the San Francisco striking of Victor David Brenner's original approved design. 1909 marked the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, and in order to honor him, the mint debuted a stunning new coin design featuring Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. Brenner adapted his obverse effigy from an earlier metal. The wheat reverse was a simpler, dare we say, more modern, interpretation of the traditional wreath design. The American public, with the help of the media, saw the initials as self-aggrandizing, and the Treasury Department quickly sought their removal. As a result of the public uproar, the mint pulled Brenner's initials within days, and as a result, only 484,000 of the 2,309,000 cents stuck at the San Francisco Mint in that year have the VDB. This makes the 1909 SVDB the rarest circulating issue Lincoln cent. The most valuable red specimen was sold at Stack's Bowers auction. This MS-67 superb gem ended up selling for $168,000. Number 4. 1955 Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Created by an incorrectly manufactured die, the 1955 double die variety is quite dramatic and was instantly sought after upon its discovery. The dramatic doubling was caused when the position of the die rotated slightly between impressions from the hub. This doubling is most notable on the legends "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," as well as the date, 1955. The day these coins were struck, 3-cent presses were operating at the Philadelphia Mint. All dumped their completed coins into one box. Apparently, the inspector failed to notice the defective die until over 40,000 pieces were struck, by which time 24,000 specimens of the variety were intermingled with non-defective coins. 16,000 pieces were isolated and then melted, but the rest were released into standard circulation. Many were famously paid out as change in cigarette vending machines. According to PCGS, most valuable specimen was sold in 2018. This MS-65 Plus red gem fetched a sum of $114,000. Number 3. 1969 S cent with double die obverse. As with the 1955 double die cent, this coin was created by a blundered die. The 1969 S double die is much rarer than the 1955, with fewer than 40 examples certified. This small surviving population is due to the fact that the offending die was discovered quite quickly. But collectors beware. Virtually no sooner than it had been discovered, the 1969 S fell victim to a counterfeiting scheme. In 1969, Roy Gray and Morton Goodman worked together to create a number of fakes, including the 1969 double die Lincoln cent. Reportedly, some authentic examples also got caught up in the Secret Service's hunt for the Gray/Goodman counterfeits and were destroyed. The main way to tell authentic 1969 S double die obverse cents from the fakes is that the real coins will not have doubled mint marks. This was because the mint mark was punched into the die by hand after the doubling occurred. One of the most expensive specimens was sold at Great Collections auction this year. This MS-66 red gem fetched a sum of $601,875 with buyer's fee. Number 2. 1958 cent with double die obverse. The 1958 double die Lincoln cent is a controversial coin. It is also one of the most valuable. The king of the Lincoln cent double dies, only 3 examples are known. The doubling is dramatic, with the legend "Liberty" and the motto "In God We Trust" being the most pronounced. The coins were discovered in 1960, reportedly by Philadelphia collector Charles Ludovico. The rarity of the issue caused many to wonder whether these were intentional mint products or even forgeries. When the mint was given the opportunity to study Ludovico's specimen, they determined that the coin was authentic. In the 1990s, a mint state example of this elusive coin traded for just over $25,000, a bargain, given that the variety has since sold for 6- and 7-figure sums. This specimen fetched a sum of $1,136,250 with buyer's fee on January 22, 2023 at Great Collections Auction. Number 1. 1943 Bronze Cent. At number 1 is the most coveted of all Lincoln cent era coins, the 1943 Bronze Cent. Struck during World War II, this era coin was created at a time when the United States was producing cents from zinc-coated steel planchets as it diverted its copper stockpile for the war effort. While most current literature points to general war scarcity, some numismatists believe that this switch in metals was intended to instill a sense of ownership and sacrifice to the war effort on the part of ordinary citizens. Regardless of the reason for the switch, the U.S. Mint adopted the new planchet type for 1 year only. Unlike at the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, where it is thought that some old 1942 planchets accidentally remained in the coin press feeding bins, no such error occurred at the Denver Mint. The only known 1943 D bronze cent is thought to have been struck by a mint worker for his personal collection. With extremely fine detail, it is believed that this coin was struck twice. A conflicting story states that this coin was actually struck by United States Mint chief engraver John R. Sinek. This particular coin was not discovered until much later, when it was examined by Annex in 1979. Recently, the coin sold in 2021 by Heritage Auctions for $840,000. Thanks for watching this episode. This video was made based on Coin Week article. Your comments and likes are highly appreciated. God's will, see you in the next episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Numismatic channel. In this exciting episode, we will be delving into the world of numismatics, where we'll showcase 8 rare and highly valuable US coins, including some intriguing error coins you definitely need to know about. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Number 8. This is 1969's Lincoln cent in PR69 deep cameo condition. PR69 is a grading designation. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with PR69 being near the top of the scale. A PR69 coin is in excellent condition, with only minor imperfections. Deep cameo indicates that the coin has a strong contrast between the frosted design elements and the mirrored fields, making the design stand out prominently. This superb gem ended up selling for $759.38 with buyer's fee. Number 7. This is 1920's Mercury dime struck 20% off center. An awesome error of a tough San Francisco mint issue. Graded in mint state 64 with full bands by PCGS. According to Legend Rare Coin Auctions, struck 20% off center but retaining the full date and mint mark which collectors love to see. Thick, frosty luster is graced with some honey gold overtones. A faint scratch on the reverse above the E of dime is noted for accuracy. An off-center strike, measuring 10 to 30% is defined as a coin that was struck only partly between the dies and was struck either above or out of the collar. It was sold for $1,468.75. Number 6. This is 1941 proof Washington quarter. Graded as PR68 plus by NGC. According to NGC, by 1941 prices for the proof sets of 1936 onward were already rising, and the market for these coins was well established. This led to annual increases in sales, as collectors began buying duplicate sets for speculative purposes. As always, many of the proof coins struck were not suitable for sale, and the reject rate ran to nearly 30% in 1941. A total of 21,625 coins was struck, but only 15,000 were delivered to the metals clerk for sale. The survival of gems rises steadily with each advancing year of proof coins for the 1936-42 period, and examples through PF67 are plentiful. Anything above PR68 is considered scarce. It was sold for $2,092.50 with buyer's fee. Number 5. This is 1983 Lincoln cent with double die reverse. Graded in mint state 67 plus read by PCGS. A beautiful, superb example of this very popular and dramatic modern double die error. Every letter on the reverse is boldly doubled. The details are fully struck up and the surfaces are smooth and devoid of any issues that would affect the wonderful eye appeal. It fetched a sum of $2,467.50. Number 4. Here is 1953 Lincoln cent struck on a silver dime planchet. Graded in mint state 64 by PCGS. Brilliant silver luster shines boldly on both sides. The slightly smaller planchet cuts off only tiny portions on the legend on both sides. Generally well struck, although there is a touch of weakness in spots where there was not enough metal to fill the dies. An interesting error that is more often seen on later dates. It ended up selling for $2,702.50. Number 3. This is 2005 P. Jefferson nickel featuring American bison on reverse. Specially struck with satin finish. Graded in mint state 70, this coin is absolute numismatic pinnacle in terms of strike, preservation and eye appeal. This is sole finest specimen according to PCGS census. It was sold for $5,486.62 with buyer's fee. Number 2. This is 1943 Lincoln cent struck on a silver dime planchet. A very popular date and error type. During the wartime crush of coinage production, a few dime planchets found their way into the bins with the standard steel blanks for the 1943 cents. Their similar brilliant silver colors did not draw attention to them apparently, and there are a small number of these known. This one appears to be one of the higher graded pieces. A soft pewter silver gray patina graces both sides, and there is a warm glowing satiny brilliance. The devices are weakly struck, as the dime planchet did not have enough metal to go all the way into the depths of the dies. It was sold for $3,760. Number 1. And this is 1960 D Washington quarter in MS 67 plus condition. Attractively toned superb gem with CAC approval. According to NGC, despite a very generous mintage, the 1960 D quarter is rare above MS 66. The vast majority of mint state coins are heavily bag marked, this term referring to the trading of BU bags that was all the rage in the early 1960s. Such coin dealings were all about quantity over quality, and the coins took a beating with each exchange. This superb gem fetched a sum of $20,812.50 with buyer's fee. That's all, folks. If you found this information helpful, please make us happy just by hitting like and subscribe buttons below this video. Have a nice day. Hey everyone. Welcome back to our numismatic channel. Today's video features 8 rare and valuable modern US coins sold at heritage auctions for large amount of money. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 8. 1997 D Roosevelt dime with full bands. Graded as MS68 FB by PCGS. The 1997 D Roosevelt dime can easily be found up to MS67 condition. However, with full band details on the reverse torch design, it is very hard to find examples in most grades with the full band details. In MS68 or higher with full bands, they are considered very scarce to rare. PCGS reports just 2 specimen in that grade, including this coin, which was sold for $2,160. Number 7. This is 1992 D Jefferson nickel in MS67 condition with full steps. According to Jamie Hernandez, the 1992 D Jefferson nickel was very well struck for the most part. Examples in MS65 condition or lower are easy to find. In MS66 condition they are much more difficult to find, especially with the full steps designation. Examples grading higher than MS66 are scarce, especially if they have the full steps characteristics. This MS67 FS gem ended up selling for $3,760. Number 6. 1992 S Silver Kennedy half dollar with double die obverse. Graded as FS 101 PR 69 Deep Cameo by PCGS. This is another Kennedy half variety that is exceedingly elusive and trades so seldom that the PCGS price guide shows absurdly low prices for the variety. Untoned silver white example beams with splendid luster and profound contrast between frosted devices and mirrored fields. The distinctive, bold notching indicating die doubling is easily seen on the designer's initials, the 92 of the date, and much of the obverse lettering. It was sold for $2,585. Number 5. This is 1962 Lincoln cent in MS67 plus red condition. It is sometimes difficult to remember that the Lincoln Memorial cent design is now more than half a century old. Despite massive mintages, these coins were not saved and are now condition rarities. The surfaces of this specimen are brilliant and frosty with rich orange mint color. Marks and spots are absent on this superb gem, which ended up selling for $8,812.50. Number 4. This is 1970s large date Lincoln cent with double die obverse. Graded as MS65 red by PCGS. Broad doubling on Liberty and the motto should make this extremely rare variety highly desirable, but it remains terribly underrated. Each side is lustrous copper orange with minor scattered ticks and a bit of softness, but its most important feature, the strong doubling, is readily apparent. It was sold for $9,987.50. Number 3. 1964 Lincoln cent from Special Mint Set. Graded as MS65 red by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, numismatists love a good mystery, and the 1964 SMS sets certainly provide one. The sets first appeared publicly in Stax auctions in 1993 and 1994, as far as we can tell. The prevailing view is that they originated in the estate of former Mint director Eva Adams and were bought by coin dealer Lester Merkin. Like all of the 1964 SMS coins, the present Lincoln cent displays a razor-sharp strike with high, squared-off rims, and heavy, haphazard die polishing, here more prominent on the obverse. This specimen was sold for $11,400. Number 2. 1962 D Washington Quarter. Graded in Mint State 67 by PCGS. It is a paradox of certain issues laid in the Silver Washington Quarter series that while they were minted in far greater quantities than many of their predecessors, in some cases they are unavailable in the same high grades. Pale glints of gold and lemongrass patina settle over otherwise silver surfaces with booming luster. A touch of striking distortion is noted on the word "in" from the motto "In God We Trust." This CAC proven superb quarter fetched a sum of $16,450. Number 1. This is 1992 D Lincoln cent with close AM. Graded as MS64 red and brown by PCGS. According to Heritage Auctions, Lincoln cent specialists are aware that proof dies during much of the 1990s and 2000s differed in design from business strikes. The distance between the feet of the AM in America is a pickup point, as is the distance between the FG initials and the memorial. One die pair intended for production in 1993 was inadvertently used for Denver strikes in 1992, and due to the high attrition rate of modern cents, only a few examples have been located. This is a lustrous orange gold near gem with minimal carbon and the look of a finer grade. It ended up selling for $20,700. Thanks for watching this episode till the end. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons below this video. And comment if you have such rare coins. Stay well. Hey coin collectors. Welcome back to our numismatic channel. In this short video we are going to show you 5 error coins that bring a lot of money at auctions. Hit that subscribe button below and let's dive in. Number 5. This is 1973's Eisenhower dollar double struck on a clad half-dollar planchet. Graded as PR65 Cameo by NGC. According to Heritage Auctions, a planchet intended for a proof Kennedy half found its way between proof $5 dies. Struck aligned with the collar die at 7 o'clock, with reading present between 5 and 9 o'clock on the obverse, and from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock on the reverse. As usual for proofs, the coin was struck twice, but since most of the coin was unrestrained by a collar die, the coin expanded during the first strike. Portions of the design from the first strike were not effaced by the second strike, including the top of Ike's head and the lower portion of the right, facing, wing. Ghostly letters from E Pluribus Unum appear beneath that legend. It was sold for $7,200. Number 4. This is 1972's Kennedy half-dollar double struck on a 5-cent planchet. Graded as PR66 Cameo condition by NGC. The first strike was widely off-center toward 10 o'clock and aligned with the collar die near 4 o'clock. The second strike was moderately off-center toward 4 o'clock and aligned with collar die near 10 o'clock. From the second strike, the top 2/3 of the date is present, and the mint mark is bold. From the first strike, God, Kennedy's profile, and the eagle's tail are evident. A ghostly "We Trust" from the first strike lingers on Kennedy's neck from the second strike. It was sold for $9,000. Number 3. This is 1974's Lincoln Cent with obverse die break and retained piece of a die on reverse. Graded in mint state 63 red and brown by NGC. Not only does it feature a heavy rim cut on the obverse, but the piece of the die that broke off is actually struck into the reverse of this coin. The obverse cut runs from 9 to 11 o'clock and intrudes into the field by about 3 millimeters. Meanwhile, on the reverse, the exact piece of the steel die that broke off lies embedded in the coin above the Lincoln Memorial, with part of E pluribus unum faintly struck into it. This was the very first planchet fed into the press following the fracturing of the obverse die. It ended up selling for $9,000. Number 2. This is 1943 Lincoln Cent struck on a silver dime planchet. Graded in mint state 65 by NGC. Satiny luster is brilliant white and unabraded, yielding good definition of the central devices. The strike is well centered, although the small diameter dime planchet is not fully struck up at the borders, where In God We Trust blends into the rim. It was sold for $11,400. Number 1. This is 2002 P Indiana quarter struck on a 10-cent planchet. Graded in mint state 64 by PCGS. A wrong planchet error on a briefly produced type. The Philadelphia mint mark is bold and complete, though close to the edge. The Indy racecar and the Washington bust are also complete. The date and E pluribus unum are off the flan, as is most of United States of America. A hint of gold toning visits lustrous and unblemished surfaces. It was sold for $17,400. Thanks for watching this video. Your likes, comments are highly appreciated. And don't forget to hit subscribe button below this video. Bye. Welcome to our channel where we unravel the captivating world of rare coins. In this eye-opening video, we will take you on a thrilling journey as we delve deep into the astonishing value hidden within 7 rare coins. Hit that subscribe button below and let's get started. Number 7. This is 1951's Washington quarter in MS67 plus condition. Attractively toned specimen with CAC approval. A fully struck, intensely lustrous superb gem quarter, with gorgeous rainbow toning near the peripheries. According to NGC, gems of this issue are quite plentiful, even up through MS67. Many of these coins, however, have a very soft and diffused look from heavy die erosion. The mints were under the restraint of budget cuts in place since the end of World War II, and this led to overuse of both dies and equipment. A well-struck 1951's quarter from fresh dies is a rarity not truly reflected in the census. This specimen ended up selling for $1,762.50. Number 6. An error penny. 1924's Lincoln Cent struck 30% off center. Graded in mint state 65 brown by NGC. An amazing off-center Lincoln Cent with mint orange surfaces that are tempered with golden tan toning. According to Stax Bowers, off-center to 7 o'clock with the obverse rim through the bottom of Lincoln's portrait, and with all of the date and legend details intact except Libe which is off the planchet. The reverse details, off-center to 11 o'clock, feature everything from 1 cent downward. Only the base of the M and E pluribus unum is visible at the top. It was sold for $2,056.25. Number 5. This is proof 1938 Washington quarter. Graded as PR 68 by NGC. A virtually pristine superb gem with mottled pastel toning to universally mirrored surfaces. Impressive condition rarity from a mintage of 8,045 proofs, one of the most limited in the Washington quarter series. According to NGC, the published mintage figure of proof quarters for 1938 is a bit misleading, as the odd 45 coins were destroyed for assay purposes, whether in-house that year at the Philadelphia Mint or during the official annual assay held the following February. Some 10 obverse and 6 reverse dies were utilized for this production. The proof quarters of 1938 reveal another advance in average quality over 1936-37. This specimen ended up selling for $2,280. Number 4. This is 1968 D. Kennedy $half indented by a $half struck on a quarter planchet. Graded as AU58 by PCGS. This $half was struck normally the first time, then a new planchet was inserted into the press, but it was a quarter-sized planchet that was struck by the $half press first, thus the indent shows the flattened eagle of the $half along with Kennedy's head incues as well as God incues and backwards in the indent from this process. A few surface scratches on the obverse cheek of Kennedy, perhaps from the ejection process. It was sold for $2,350. Number 3. 2000p Sacagawea dollar with boldly detailed tail feathers. So-called Cheerios dollar. This lot includes 2000 Lincoln cent as well. Both coins are individually graded and encapsulated by PCGS, as follows: Cheerios dollar, MS68, and Cheerios cent, MS64RD. Each piece is made apart from a few faint carbon spots on the cent. The dollar exhibits virtually pristine satin surfaces. This popular variety of the first-year Sacagawea dollar is affectionately known as the Cheerios dollar, and it is most readily identifiable by the pronounced enhancement evident to the detail of the eagle's tail feathers. These pieces were distributed by the Mint in boxes of Cheerios cereal as part of a promotional program with General Mills to advertise the new golden dollar coin. Each distribution also included an accompanying 2000 Lincoln cent, as here. Only 5,500 examples of this variety were distributed, and many of these Cheerios dollars were obtained by non-numismatists who eventually spent the coins or otherwise mishandled them. This lot of 2 coins ended up selling for $6,600. Number 2. This is 1906 Indian cent in PR67 red cameo condition. A breathtakingly beautiful strike and condition rarity from a mintage of 1,725 proofs. Fully struck with an uncommon satin texture, the devices contrast boldly with highly reflective fields. Vivid red and orange colors dance across silky smooth, virtually pristine surfaces. Rare with a cameo finish, this issue was struck from dies that were polished in such a way that the vast majority of coins emerged from the press with both the fields and devices reflective. It was sold for $30,550. Number 1. And this is 1913 Lincoln cent in MS67 plus red condition. Exceptional eye appeal, color and quality for the date specialist who demands the finest Lincoln cent available. Struck with depth and precision on all the devices and lettering, and free of carbon spots or bag marks of any significance. Bright mint red spans the obverse and reverse, and the eye appeal is strong in every possible category. It was sold for $35,250. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to unlock more valuable insights. God's will, see you in the next episode.